might but first I stretch. Tell them run it off. I wake up, flex, thumb down now, check. No drip, this. Tell them run it off. No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck. But first I stretch. Tell them run it off. 9 out of 10 roll through my hands, I'm by my lonely. Turn to a savage, now my baby wants to hold me. I love my fans, don't need no friends, I got my homies. Thought I could trust you, I find out you tried to zone me. I'm number one up on that court, I'm Nick McGrady. The first one in, the last one out, can't call me lazy. Put in my hours, send the invoice and they pay me. I need 6 rings like MJ and Tom Brady. I wake up, flex, thumb down now, check. No drip, this. Tell them run it off. No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck. But first I stretch. Tell them run it off. I wake up, flex, thumb down now, check. No drip, this. Tell them run it off. No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck. But first I stretch. Tell them run it off. Y'all gon' make me take that trip way out to Europe. I call up Niger, he'll come through in a hurry. Those London boys don't come to play, you should get worried. One false move, find yourself, they getting buried. Dance with the devil, used to love playing those games. Made some bad decisions that brought my mama pain. I made a promise to her, swore that I would change. I'm on the come up, bet I live up to my name. I wake up, flex, thumb down now, check. No drip, this. Tell them run it off. No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck. But first I stretch. Tell them run it off. I wake up, flex, thumb down now, check. No drip, this. Tell them run it off. No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck. But first I stretch. Tell them run it off.
Welcome to the GRG podcast, where you get all the latest gaming news, hot topics, and more. With guest Triple Cup Chuck, Livewires Gaming, 108 Dragons TV, Bloody Knuckles, Operations Op, 100, live, and your host KMEGA 405. The GRG podcast
starts right now.
What's happening, everybody? The GRG podcast is in full effect. Episode 131, and we are doing it live. Welcome. We are here, and we're going to have one hell of a show because there is tons of news. We'll try to get through some of this stuff as fast as we can, but right before the show even started, like we already had the topics ready to go and all that. There was still news that just dropped, and I'm like, what? What's going on, right? So anyway, other than that, we'll talk about that first because these are just some new things that just dropped. But before I introduce the guests and the panel, I do have to say something. Man, my condolences goes to Bloody Knuckles and his family. His auntie just passed away. That's the reason why he could not make the show. And man, he seemed pretty distraught about it. So man, if y'all could just give your prayers up to my boy Bloody Knuckles, man, to part of the GRG family. Man, and just send them out, sorry, some condolences, sorry for the loss, whatever. I think that would be greatly appreciated, man. So, big shout out to my boy with the Satan rings. Take care, take all the time you need. You know what I'm saying? We'll still be here for you no matter what. But other than that, let's go on to the panel. And we have some guests. Again, like I said, GRG, we're going to come a little different. We're going to start bringing in more people in, starting getting their perspectives. their ideas. You know what I'm saying? Because and then to mesh with some of these knuckleheads on the panel, so it'll be great, no doubt about it. So anyway, let's go on to man, our first guest. He has been on the podcast, definitely not only once, but a couple of other times, and man, he's back, and man, happy to have him here, man. He's like 100's, like 100 is like love this dude, man. He's like so shady is the man. What's up with you, man? And did you bring the chef in how you say that? The chef's empire? Sesh empire. Yes. Yes. Nice, no doubt, no doubt. And then another person that's came to the show once before, and glad to have him back, man. And this man has no title. He comes in it's a thief in the night, my bro, man. He comes in here. You just see nothing but lights, man. And it's not the dawn, it's them other type of lights, man, with them green cookies. What's going on with you, Hood Media News? What's up with you, bro? Oh yeah, no doubt, no doubt. Let's go, let's go. All green. So you're gonna. So I got two guests, and then we got Gamma Green 100. So no telling what kind of shit we're gonna hear tonight. But other than that, let's get to it, man. Get to the panel. My man 108 Dragons TV is in the building. What's going on with you, bro? Yeah, yeah, no doubt. No doubt. Oh, you said the only people can you hear is them? Hold on, let's see. Say something again, guys. Hold on, let me do that. Oh, okay, let's see. Hold on, that's the gameplay. Yeah, hold on. Let me see something. Oh, no wonder.
You should take your boy's
I
technical
hit the wrong
advice.
damn button.
You know,
Let me be country, man. Let me be country. Let me be country. Go ahead.
KMEGA on these
we need to be doing this 20 minutes before we start, KMEGA.
And listen, every time
Tell
I
him.
mess with this, every
Did he
time,
just pull out the country and just go?
every time that I switch with
About
this,
the DJ,
YouTube
DJ
always got
scratch
some
it.
other stuff. And listen, I'm not the only one. Everybody's been having problems with OBS or whatever the case may be.
Well,
We
get off
going
that
hard to
shit.
paint. We hard to paint. We hard to paint. We still, it works. It works. It works. It
What does
works.
that sound like, Lemon?
It works.
It sounds
It works.
like excuses.
Excuses.
Hey, you know what?
Every
Hey,
week we got
hey,
a different excuse.
Everybody's saying the sound is back. KMEGA got you, man. Now this was back 2 years ago. You know what I'm saying? 2.5 years ago when the show first started.
It'd have took you 40 minutes.
Oh shit, we would have had to just shut the show down.
It'd have canceled.
Sorry, good night.
We be back next week.
Yeah, so yeah. Anyway, so again, my man So Shady is in the building, man. Go ahead and introduce yourself again, So Shady. I'm sorry about that, man.
Oh, it's not a problem, KMEGA. I'm glad to be here, dude. I'm a huge fan of the show. I listen in every week. I'm glad to be back. And let's talk these games, man. Let's get into it.
All right, cool. Hey, other Zinkas over here says, "Damn, I can't leave well enough alone. Stop it. Don't listen to the fools over there. Just listen to me." Anyway, and hey, man, the man that has no name, no face. Well, he has a
Just
name,
lights.
but it's just
Just
lights
lights.
and green cookies. My man,
And green cookies.
yeah. Hood Media News. What's up with you, fam?
I'm here. Cookie Monster's here, baby. Let's go. Let's go. Let's do this great podcast.
All right. Okay, so 108, fuck you. We ain't even talking about you no more. My man Livewire's in the building. What's happening, bruh? Our Donald Trump, man, throw them Dolphins up, man. The Dolphin King. What's up with you, man?
What it?
What up?
Not much chilling, man. You know, working.
Okay.
Trying to get this thumbnail out once I look at what we talking about, because you know I didn't. I'll wait
Okay.
until we get on the show.
I know. That's cool. That's cool. That's cool. Nobody don't pay attention to nothing. But that's why I test y'all. And at the end, and when y'all start stumbling, then that's when I rip y'all to pieces into shreds. Anyway, and then last but not no, we got I just seen Op came in here, but he got his mic off, so he probably busy doing something. So anyway, 100.
Internet went out.
Oh no, he's right there. He's right there. But anyway, I'm gonna go to 100, then I'll get to you, Op. 100. What's going on with you, man?
Man, you know me, being me. I'm saying out here, you know what I'm saying? Just
100,
Xbox.
that's you. That's you snap, crackling, and popping in my ear, dog.
I ain't doing none of that. I mean, man.
Little snap, crackle, pop.
I know,
Hey,
man.
man.
Come on, man. Get your shit together,
Come
man.
on. I ain't did no, man. I don't do all that, man. It's 100 in here. You know, I'm going to turn it up tonight. You know what I'm
If
saying?
you stay awake.
I know, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
I've been sleeping all goddamn day. Shit, I ain't got nothing but to do to stay up.
All right, okay, come on, man. Reel it in. This ain't intro media gaming. This is GRG.
This is censored.
That's what you were saying last night on your video. This ain't GRG. This is
I said it because GRG,
gaming.
I gotta be censored. I ain't gotta be censored on my own channel.
He said, I'm dropping F-bombs. I'm not monetizing this.
I'm not monetizing.
And I'm 100 versus myself.
It's 100 versus 100. Hey, Ray G4 is right on it. 100 gets 100, man.
100 gets myself.
Thanks everybody for coming in here to check it out.
Everybody.
Go ahead and share this out, man, because we're gonna have one hell of a show. And again, last but not least, my boy Op, the Rookie of the Year here at GRG. What's going on with you, brother?
Yo, what's up, y'all? There's not much, but just been chilling this week, bro. I beat Dishonored 2 a little bit earlier this week, I want to say. And after I've just been playing Dishonored 2.
Okay.
Oh, that's a great game.
Dope, bro. Like, it's better than I expected.
It's hard, though.
Really? I need to jump on that then.
Yeah,
it's hard. It's hard, KMEGA.
Who you play as, a guy or a girl?
Orville, the guy.
Oh, okay.
So I have to go through and play as his daughter. I've just been playing Gears 5, man. That game is stupidly robust. Like, just almost criminally underrated at this point. How robust that game is, what it's offering right now. But yeah, that's all I've been up to.
Cool. Big shout out to Sir X Man. He said we should have a special Halo Fight Night Sunday. Nope. Fight Night belongs to fighting. That's it. Fighting games only. Now, if you want to have Halo during the day, if we got time, then that's definitely we could definitely do that, because I do miss having Halo Night, because Halo Night was fun. There was a lot. That's how I met my. Yeah, we did that a while back. Yeah.
Long as you're not hosting and long as you're not playing against me, you fine.
Oh man, if I play against you, I'll kill you again.
No, you won't.
Yeah, I will. And then
free smoke.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we'll be streaming. People will see it.
Free smoke.
Yeah. You get all this fade you want. I'll give you all that.
You're gonna say I'm lag switching again.
I never said anything about lag switching. I never said the word lag switching in my life about any.
You jump us when we're fighting each other.
No,
who's the best Halo player over here? Who's the best?
You got more excuses than when the show don't start right.
Really? Is that what it is? I don't know. Hey, we still waiting on your show. What happened?
What happened? I am on my show. GRG is my show.
Oh, no. Well, I'm talking about the Lamb's Den.
Oh.
Anyway.
Oh, that's what we doing?
Oh, shit. Anyway.
I am on my show. GRG. Let's go.
It is your show. The family is here, man. And we already we need the ladies here to settle down.
The Lamb's Den? Wow. I'm going to mute my mic. I'm done.
Oh, boy, you see.
Yo, Six, see what he did to me? See what he did with you named my show?
We got to have, man, look, that's what I'm saying. Like, man, you got to know that we cool like that, because we just be going at each other's throat, man, all the time, man. You see all the behind the scenes of why we are going each other's neck, man, just talking a lot of shit.
Yo, can I say the next super chat, please?
Oh, yeah, sure, please.
Shout out to my man, so generous, Mr. Sir X, man. First of all, that's not a super chat. That is a message, but we're going to leave it alone. We can do it. We can do that early Sunday. He's sending text messages.
Hey, man, you gotta give it up to Sir X, man. Sir X, man, he said we can do it early Sunday. Well, we can try to set it up, man. We can try to have Halo Day instead of Halo Night. But you
could have put that in the DMs.
Oh man, leave the super chat alone, man. Leave my brother alone, man. Big shout out to my main man, Sir X, man. Anyway, let's get on to it. Let's get to the very first topic, and it's not one of the topics that we were discussing, because this was brand new news, and it is about a new hire from Microsoft. And this is pretty amazing, because we were all been talking about the marketing situation. I don't think anybody on this panel could actually say that Xbox One's marketing has been anywhere up to par compared to the 360 or even the OG Xbox. It's been very lackluster, and so people have been waiting and expecting if there was going to be any changes or if there was going to be any upgrades.
Who said it was lackluster? Well, hang on, what you say?
Lackluster.
Lackluster.
It was trash. It was trash.
Didn't I tell you to drink water?
It was trash.
Okay, anyway, lackluster.
It wasn't. No, it was not.
Okay, but 100. I will go to you first.
It was trash.
Let me finish this. Thank you. So anyway, it's been lackluster from a lot of people's perspective. If you could just go to case in point, when you seen Quantum Break, we didn't get anything from that, or Sunset Overdrive, or Recore, any of the games that a lot of people talked about and enjoyed. They didn't. There wasn't no true representation of it. You know what I'm saying? So the fact of it is that the marketing has not been up to the level of what we've seen with the 360 or the OG Xbox. But right now, we just found out that a person that formerly worked with Xbox and then worked at Netflix, he is now coming back, and he's going to be Microsoft's chief marketing officer of Xbox. And this came from Killer Brill, and if you haven't paid attention to Killer Brill, I don't know if he's a dev, I don't know what he is, but yeah, he knows a lot of stuff. He's very inside. And the question is because the first thing people's like, oh, well, now Aaron Greenberg is gone, and this doesn't, and you know what I'm saying, however you think about Aaron Greenberg, positive or negative, the fact of it is that people was thinking that this guy was taking over Aaron Greenberg's spot. That's not the case. Aaron Greenberg is still safe in his position. For me, I'm happy about that. I think Aaron's a really cool guy. But it seems like maybe Larry Herb might be the person that is going to be phased out. So 100, I'm finna go to you. What is your thoughts about this? You think this is a good move from them?
It's a good move because the thing about it is you're getting somebody that's been in that industry of streaming game. He's really, to me, he's really made for Game Pass and stuff like that, to do stuff like that. Y'all talking about Xbox was lackluster with their marketing?
If you're going to say that word, say it right.
Man, y'all know the damn word, man.
Okay, go ahead, man.
All right, man. No, I'm going to sit my ass up. I was laying down. Let me get my ass up. Lackluster. No, I can't say this shit right now. I can't do it. Okay. I can't say it because I can't say it.
All right. Okay, you know what? I'm going to give you a break so you can get up and get your bearings. And I'm going to go.
No, but my thing is,
go ahead.
Y'all, people saying that Microsoft marketing was wrong and they did this and they didn't do this right with Recore and all this. I call bull.
Wow.
I really do call bull. Because I don't understand. Just because, I got a perfect example. Damn, I gotta go into my genius. Look at all the ads that Sony has, and look at what they profit off them ads, and look what Microsoft put out ads. It was ads. People now I have Xbox. I mean, I have YouTube Premium, so I don't see I don't see ads on my channels or none of that. I don't see none of that. If I go watch your channel and you got ads, I don't see it. But people that does, and they making long podcasts, I saw people said they saw these videos. And Microsoft was putting stuff, Aaron was putting stuff in places where people watch. People watch what? YouTube. People watch more YouTube than they watch TV. But when you start saying them things and talking about them things, and I don't understand, like, well, this guy's going to change something. No, he's there for Game Pass, and he want to boost up Game Pass. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand the rhetoric about Microsoft marketing was wrong. Microsoft, when the NFL is on, that's all you see is Xbox. Ain't NFL's America's game? I don't hear nobody talking. Is that true? But I want to hear the give me the rebuttal. I want to hear the rebuttal.
I got a rebuttal.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, so I was talking to Aaron Greenberg one time, and I was saying, television needs to be a forefront of Xbox putting stuff out there, because you have PlayStation. If you just turn on anything, PlayStation is there. Right? I go to a basketball game, fucking PlayStation got a halftime show. I go to freaking Watching my sports, PlayStation is there. Anything I do, PlayStation is there. But for Aaron Greenberg, they were looking at the social, the viral. That's cool and all, but if we're talking about marketing, we're not just talking about television. We're not just talking about putting stuff out there, but we're talking about stuff like you have a console and you can't do special editions. You can't do like you're marketing with like, let's say they're marketing with Star Wars, and they give you a plain console with the game. Like, that's part of marketing. You're supposed to do something else.
But they
had all those. They had all those unique
why
consoles.
would you? Oh, okay, you want to say that? I'm a rebuttal. Can I say my rebuttal on that one?
Go ahead.
I'm gonna say my rebuttal on that one. If think about it, if you got Star Wars, everybody supposed to. Most people have both or one of them consoles. Am I right? So why make a custom console? But think about when you make a custom console, you make it for your exclusives instead of for a third party.
Nah.
That's what I'm saying. You make it for that realm. That's what I'm saying. You don't make it. And think about it is a console. They're for them. Think about it. Them consoles, them custom consoles are for collectors. They're not for me and you, because we already own one. You think I'm gonna buy another one?
Yeah. So why do the controllers?
They do the controllers because they make their own controllers in-house.
But they could do the same program, right, for the console. Don't put it on the shelf, but give me a program that I'm like, hey, I want my console to be like this.
You can make your own. You can make, if you want. You can go make your own. It's people that make your own custom console.
Yeah, but this is what I'm saying. You're talking about there's a lane I could go to outside of Microsoft.
When the last time Sony made a custom console?
All the fucking time. They do that shit 24/7.
When was this? When was that? They ain't came out. When was it?
They made.
This is not about Sony. This is about Microsoft.
No.
He
When
just
the
asked
last time they made a custom console? When the last time Nintendo made a custom?
Death Stranding was the last one.
Death Stranding was the last one.
It was trash, but they did one.
Yeah, but
they did Batman. They did Spider-Man.
But he's talking about the last one.
I'm saying the last one. What they did, they ain't did nothing since. Am I right?
I got something for you. So we're talking about PlayStation doing a custom console. If you look in Twitter, Xbox has better custom consoles, like the limited edition, but they always do it for charity, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Them shits look fire. Them shits look like I want that shit in my house to put right now, even if I got a console. Right. But them shits don't come to regular customers. Why? It's like Shorty teasing you with the pics, and you go to a house and she like, nah, she's fully dressed. Like,
we got a live wire.
We got another live wire. We got another
Oh yeah,
we got the
108. We got this console. 108.
We got the Boris from England.
Yeah. 108. 108. What I say? 108. 108. Did I tell you my son wanted some custom shoes, right?
Yeah.
Damn, that's just some
just had this conversation before we came on, right?
Shoe game, right?
Right.
And I'm like, is this worth this? Because I ain't in this custom shoe game. I got shoes I ain't even put on.
You know, that's what I'm into. I like these custom sneakers.
So I'm sitting there asking, like, if it's worth this price, if I get this next week and this and that, is just because you got something custom don't mean that it's worth something.
Okay.
They got Spider-Man. Who's asking for a Spider-Man console right now?
A lot of people asking for
that shit sold a lot.
Yeah. I wanted to take my pro back for that.
Yeah, there's a lot.
I'm sorry.
Custom consoles sell 100, but I mean, go ahead and finish your point, and then we'll go to Shady, and then I'll go to Hood.
But my thing is, man, y'all talking about all this custom and all this. They got the controllers, they got this and got that, but man, frack all that stuff, man. You know what I'm saying?
He said frack. Frack all that.
Said frack.
I'm proud of you.
That's how you know I ain't drunk.
It's the Gamma Green session, people. Let's go.
Yeah, I ain't drunk.
It's all good. It's all good. Anyway, it's all good. Okay, so before I go to Shady on this,
man,
let me ask you 100. So if they dropped, let's just say a Madden custom, they made Madden custom consoles for the XSX, right? And they had each NFL team because Microsoft is marketing with the NFL. You mean to tell me you wouldn't buy Vegas Raiders, or if they still had the Oakland Raiders, you mean to tell me you wouldn't get that console?
I already have that console already. Y'all talking to a person that
Okay,
had
okay,
Xbox.
but the console,
I'm a
the
person that had
SSX is not even out yet.
I had the Gears of War console.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
and
me
I
too.
gave it to my son because his fat went out.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, if they still think about the custom console, at the end of the day, don't they run the same? Ain't nothing special about them.
But the fans love it. It's for the fans.
It's the fans. Okay, but
it's for the fans.
But okay, but really back in.
I'm gonna let it go.
No. I'm just saying. Really back in. I want to also hear your thoughts about this gentleman taking over, Jared West, that used to formerly work for Microsoft, but now or for Xbox, and now he's back and he's going to be a part of the Xbox team. So, do you think this is a good fit? He got expertise.
He just good for marketing, Game Pass, and other things. That's what he's good for. Okay. He did that for Netflix. Microsoft got them open checks. You know what I'm saying? Because you see, they buying people for a certain reason. Xbox, they buying. You know what I'm saying? Who has Zombiac right now but the janitor?
Why does it got to go back to Sony? Just give me the.
I'm an Xbox. Hey, I got the.
Come on, man.
Before you get into the next guest, KMEGA, let me read that super chat, man.
All right, go ahead, bro. Go.
Shout out to Sir X-Men with another $2 donation. I would have bought that Xbox Tomb Raider console, and you know what, Sir X-Men, that has to be the dopest. It had vines, and that was amazing. And you know what made me mad? That it wasn't accessible to the public.
Okay, I got a perfect
Make it a pre-order thing for those people who really gonna pay that cost to be the boss. Because I need that system.
All down right now.
Thank you, Sir X-Men.
All down right now. What my man Xbox Pope do every day?
I don't know. Tell us.
Skin for you.
Right.
That you put on your console.
Right.
That shit melts.
And look just
I don't want skin that had 3D veins and trees and.
But wouldn't it be smart? But hold on. But let's keep it real though. Wouldn't it be smart for Microsoft to hire Pope? Okay then. So okay. So you're telling me you want to get Pope to get hired. But yet you still wouldn't buy his product as much as dope as his
I can't buy, man. We talking about Pope, man. Man, I'm a dollar there. I just want from being in the court there, man.
No, you got it. You got it.
Listen.
You got it. Stop fronting.
It don't matter if he's fronting or not. The fact of it is that if the point of it is overall, if they are custom consoles,
man, let the guests
people
talk.
would buy.
We've been talking about. Let the guests talk.
You've been talking about it. I'm over here trying to get you to shut up so I can get to the guests.
Well, you talking right now, so let the guests talk.
Okay. So Sadie, what's up, man? What is your thoughts about this, about the hire and everything else that we talked within this?
Oh, the hire sounds like a good fit. I mean, if he used to work for Xbox, we all know that Xbox used to be bringing it a lot harder than they were the last couple of years on all fronts. Like, it's no secret that Xbox was probably humming and hawing on what to do. Like Microsoft was humming and hawing on what to do with Xbox for a little while. And it wasn't until Phil Spencer, convinced Satya Nadella that it's worth keeping and going all in on because video gaming is serious business as long as they're willing to take it serious. So I think he's a good fit. He used to be at the company and probably did good work then. He's been at Netflix and everyone on the planet knows Netflix is a thing. So job accomplished over there. Come on back over to Xbox. I'm kind of with 100. I don't think that Xbox completely dropped the ball on marketing this gen at all. I see their advertisements all the time. I think they did drop the ball on going out and getting those third-party marketing deals. And that's where Sony came in and really nailed it, was for most of those multi-platform games that came out this generation, at the end of the commercial, you heard and saw PlayStation all the time. Like I've said it before, where out in the real world, I've gotten into fucking arguments with adults in their 40s telling me that I'm not playing Destiny and Star Wars at home on my Xbox because it's exclusive to PlayStation, and I'm lying. And their reasoning is because of just TV commercials, YouTube commercials saying PlayStation at the end of Call of Duties, FIFAs, Star Wars, etc. And I think that type of marketing is extremely simple, but it's massively effective. Same thing when you walk into any game store or a Walmart or something like that. If you're seeing Red Dead Redemption 2 poster on the wall and it's got a gigantic PlayStation symbol on that poster, a lot of casual gamers are of the assumption that that's the only place you can play, and that's where they're going to go and take their business. So I think that Microsoft, and they have cranked it up, but they should continue to go after as many third-party deals as possible. Everyone saw that top 20 list of the last decade. It was all multi-platform titles on the damn thing. Those are the games that sell. Those are the big ones. Everyone loves to think that exclusives are the biggest games in this entire industry. They're not even close. No. It's multi-platform titles. Microsoft needs to just snag up marketing rights. So every commercial you see for Grand Theft Auto 6 and every other big game, Cyberpunk and stuff, will say Xbox at the end of the commercial. That goes a long, long way. I think they've nailed it as far as like social media. They interact with their fan base so much more. They come on to guys' podcasts and stuff like that. I don't see anything like that from Sony. So I think Microsoft is good on that front. But get the third-party marketing deals. And, when Gears came out, that was huge. There was so much marketing for Gears. They had buildings wrapped in the skins of it, for God's sakes. It was all out. I like that. I think they're coming along. They just had to get their butts kicked a little bit on all fronts, really. But I think they're nailing it, man. They just stay the course and, I don't know, keep your messaging clear. That's a big one. That's really what burned them this gen, was their messaging was just so muddled at the beginning. It took a lot of people, even to this day, still you can't trade games on Xbox. I've seen that Sony commercial. It's like, that's not the way it is, but a lot of people still assume it. So keep the messaging clear, go after the third-party stuff, just slam the Xbox logo everywhere you humanly can. And really, that's it. Marketing isn't rocket science at the end of the day. Just make sure people know that the brand exists and that it's got games to play.
Absolutely.
Hold on. Let's got to pay the bills again.
Okay, go ahead.
Sir X, man, thank you for that Donald Trump donation of $2. Steve Ballmer did not have taken any prisoners. That's a fact.
I mean, that is a fact.
That's a fact.
But I
think the times have changed. They paid Steve Ballmer to leave.
I could see that too. I mean, he was overly aggressive and chased a lot of people off.
Right. I'd rather have somebody overly aggressive than under the table weak.
Yeah,
I don't like the Clippers. I don't like the Clippers. But did you see Steve Ballmer? Whenever you hear about him now,
he owns the Clippers. Yeah, and he was aggressive. And I thank him for all those picks that he gave the Thunder for Paul George.
Yeah, but you hear of him.
And he bought it by himself, so that Microsoft money go a long way. Facts.
So I mean,
I just want to say one more quick thing here. I want to talk about the custom consoles and whatnot.
Go ahead.
I think that's fine. I've always thought that having custom consoles in the design labs as like a pre-order, pre-buy thing would be phenomenal. Be able to design your own kind of custom console. It would be truly custom that way, because people call custom consoles just like it's a themed console. There's nothing custom about it. They're the same as every other Spider-Man console out there. They're just themed. It's a Spider-Man cosmetic console, right? Yeah.
Cosmetic.
Whereas if you want a real custom console, you either make it yourself or you find someone to paint it, or you go out and wrap it up in different skins and stuff. So I'm not too all over custom consoles being a thing on the store. I think it's really hard to gauge interest on a Star Wars console example. Like how many do you make? It's hard, but 108 said you could pre-order that stuff, which I think would be awesome as well. If they did that, where you want a custom console a month before the game or 2 months, they have pre-orders, and that's the window you have to put your money down and you'll get one. Otherwise, you're out of luck. But I do love what Xbox did with their controllers. The design lab is fantastic. I like how they do put out tons of custom, just themed controllers all the time. Because unlike consoles, most gamers have multiple controllers. We all have at least 2, if not 4. Some guys, literally, that's what they collect. They've got like 50 controllers. But they're cheaper than a console. We use them. They wear out over time. So I think the controller market is a better thing to push for than the themed console market. But there's no reason to not maybe do both.
All right, cool. What about you, Hood News Media? What is your thoughts about all this?
I mean, Shady said a lot of good points. I definitely agree with the fact that you don't need to put custom consoles or themed consoles in the stores or whatever. I like the design lab having it, but I think one of the things that we're missing is that the global marketing. Like, yeah, we see commercials and certain things here, but Xbox is not known globally the way that it should. We have the U.S. market on Smash, but I think that's why they brought this guy back, because when he was there in 2008, I think 2006, whatever, 2008 to 2011, I think
Yeah,
He was
2008
killing
to
it.
2011. Yeah, you're right.
He was killing it with the 360. He did a freaking bang up job. He did a great job, and then he went over to Netflix, and Netflix now is a global freaking phenom. So I think having him is more about global reach because you see them trying to go out to Japan and try to do other things. So what the hell?
That's 100.
My bad, my phone. Got the ladies calling me.
Connect? Is that the connect? What the hell?
No, that's the liquor store calling him, telling him to pick up this box of liquor.
Yeah, dog. They probably saying, "Hey, man, we ain't seen you today. You need to come on through." Anyway, go ahead, News. Go ahead.
It's not much to say. All I'm saying is that basically that I think he's there for a global reach. I don't think it's just Game Pass. I think he helps with Game Pass because now all the games are going to Game Pass and PC, and they need a better way to market it to everyone. You know, it's not just the dudes on Twitter, the Twitter thugs, or everybody else that's in the know. It's about those people that don't know, the grandmas and grandpas, and
facts.
Those other people that just don't pay attention to shit like that. So
absolutely, I just introduced Game Pass actually to my brother-in-law and my sister like a month ago for the $1, and they signed up for it. And when it was about to run out, they're calling me up like, "Is there any other way I can get this thing? I'm playing all these games and I just can't be without it." Like they didn't know it was a thing really until I sat them down, showed them what it is because I'd told them about it before, but that wasn't enough. They needed to see what was on offer. And once they went home and it was about to run out, they were freaking out. Like, "Oh my, do we have to pay that $18 a month now?" I'm like, "Hey, it's worth it. If you don't want to use PC Game Pass, you already have Xbox Gold. Just use regular Game Pass." But they, once they have a taste, it's hard to turn that stuff down, man. So the more people,
I think we do a better job.
It.
Like us gamers do a better job of marketing those software and stuff to services to the unknown.
Yeah,
Microsoft
it makes sense.
So.
I like to think that most casual gamers have a hardcore gamer friend, and that's why they're a casual gamer. Is they were introduced to the hobby by one of their buddies, and they just don't take it as serious as maybe their hardcore friend does. But I think that's where most casuals do get their news is a buddy or two that just takes the hobby really serious. Because if you're casual, what are you doing going to the IGNs and Kotakus and that type of garbage, and you likely don't even know that these types of shows existed. I mean, I've been gaming hardcore for almost 40 years now, and I only found this community like a handful of years ago, and I had no idea that this type of thing was going on. And once I found it, it was like game changing for me. Honestly, I've never been able to turn back. I watch a lot of shows, and honestly, obviously, I participate. I love it. So I just don't think casuals know this type of world even exists. So you're right, man. It's the hardcore that pushed the message out.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I got a question to you guys. Have you guys ever seen a PlayStation commercial in a movie? Like when you go to the movies and see that place?
Yes. When I went to see, what was the last one? Because I went and seen Bad Boys here recently. Today. Good movie, by the way.
Great recommendation, huh? It's great.
I was already
They ain't the point though. I saw it before you, and I gave you that text message on your cell phone personally.
That's
homeboy to homeboy.
Yeah, but the old lady had the tickets from yesterday, so I don't know.
I called her and told her to hook you up.
Okay, all right, well, cool. Thank you, appreciate it. Anyway, did you give her the money for the movies too? Because I mean,
Nah.
Popcorn.
All right. Now, leave for popcorn. Some damn. Okay.
Nah. I said hook you up with the pants off, dance off, sis. Hook him up with the pants off, dance off. He good.
The PlayStation trailer that I saw in the theater, man, it was that Death Stranding trailer where the whole world is flooded and it's like desolate and everything's floating in this flooded water. It was Star Wars, and at the end of the trailer, like all the water is draining from the world. Like it's an incredible trailer. Like, what is this? I would play this game in a second. And as the water is disappearing, it's going into this apartment building, up the stairs into this like apartment, and the water turns out to be some grown ass man crying tears over how emotional Death Stranding has been. I burst out laughing harder than any human should ever in public, man. I couldn't believe the pompousness of that advertisement. But that being said, there was a PlayStation commercial in a theater. I have seen Xbox commercials in the theaters as well.
I haven't seen an Xbox commercial. It's been all PlayStation that I've seen.
I have seen it. It does exist, but I mean, I did see the PlayStation one most recent, but it wasn't a good reaction from me. Let's just put it that way. I couldn't believe the commercial. It's just like, are you serious? That's what the world flooded over? Is this man crying over Death Stranding's emotional? As if.
But you got to understand, thing about it is, it's what you watch, and it's what you, especially on YouTube, is what you watch and how you watch. That's how the advertiser is going to go to you. If
Directed
you're a
marketing,
gamer, they're going to
absolutely.
show you gamer stuff. If you watch survival stuff, they're going to show you people off of survival that's selling stuff. That's how
Exactly.
advertising work on YouTube.
Exactly. How many of us dudes sitting here on the panel are getting like Tampax commercials on YouTube? Zero, because they know we're dudes that aren't buying Tampax, so we see none.
I don't know.
But for us to go out and be
take
like,
that back.
well, I mean, I don't. Let's just put it this way. Like,
I don't either. So I mean, you need to
they know
explain
it's
something to
wasted,
me.
they know it's wasted marketing
You just messed
dollars,
it
right?
up because we're all gonna get Tampax now.
Right, because somebody opened their mouth.
It's possible.
You got to be careful.
All right, let me
They know
go.
who we are, and they know that it's wasted
Let me go
marketing
to
money.
Livewire and get his thoughts on this as well, man. What do you think about the hire? Do you think there was a good move from Microsoft and just everything else that we've been talking about in between? What's your thoughts, bro?
Yeah, man, it's good. You know, they got somebody to come in and help with the, advertisement. I mean, obviously they want to be the Netflix of gaming, so you get a Netflix guy to do it. So it's really not rocket science. I'm just like, all right, cool, that's what's up. I would say the one thing they got to do that Netflix does really well is they pretty much cater to everybody. Like they got stuff on there from everywhere. Now, similar to like what y'all were talking about before, is like what you watch on YouTube, and they cater to whatever you pretend happen to look into, which is a little aggressive sometimes. I don't know. I looked at one movie for a Nigerian comedy, man, and now I get like 100 of them things. I'm like, God,
oh yeah, you got to watch what you click on YouTube. Next thing you know,
yeah. I just be like, yo, I was shocked. I was like, damn, these. I figured it's not called Bollywood. It's something else. What they call it, Nigerian Hollywood. But bro, that joint was crazy. But that's what they need to do. They have to have like everything on lock. Like Netflix they got everything, bro. Like stuff you didn't even think that like Bollywood and beyond, and all these French movies and miniseries and all that stuff. Like, bro, they got to be on all that type of stuff. So
yeah, that's that global marketing right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Okay. All right. What about you, Op? What's your thoughts about this?
Yeah, I think it's a cool move for Microsoft to get someone that previously worked with them in the past. I think he started in 2002, 2011, I believe. That's about 8 years. As far as like the marketing strategy, I slightly agree with 100 on this. Everybody had made good points on this, but I feel that Sony and Microsoft just approach it differently. Generation, Sony took the more zealous route, trying to invade everybody's headspace in as many different avenues as possible. And of course, that stems from TV, movies, social media, YouTube, other stuff like that. Whereas Microsoft, they took the more meticulous route to it. Instead of like trying to be everywhere with their products, they chose certain, I guess. Let's say certain, not certain areas, like certain websites or medias high in density with traffic. Like for instance, I believe during the Walking Dead show when it was airing live on air, they showed off their Surface laptops of the show while it was live in air, and that show is one of the most popular shows out there right now. So a lot of people are tuning into it. Another thing is on these big tech websites, showing off the Xbox One X when it was being revealed and was about to launch. So like, never really got why people say they're lacking in marketing. Everybody don't fully get it. Microsoft really pick and choose where they want to market their products as well. If they do choose to wrap it up like they have been doing Game Pass and our services right now, I wouldn't be against it. It'll be dope to see more commercials because some of them have been pretty funny for the most part, especially the Halo Wars 2 commercials they did when the game was launching, and some of the Game Pass trailers they did towards the launch of certain games as well. So it's a pretty cool move for Microsoft. I want to see what they do going forward, how they're going to change it.
Okay. All right, and 108?
First of all, the hire is fantastic. He previously worked for Microsoft. He know how they work. He has the experience. He brought a lot to Netflix. They got him back. That's a bonus. I take a different approach on Microsoft. In the beginning, they dropped the ball. They stepped it up since they dropped the ball in 2013. People keep living on that year. I don't know why. Like, they just don't want to erase it from their memories. I recently did the Disney Plus 3 subscription, $12.99, ESPN Plus, and Hulu. Didn't have Hulu before. I didn't know Hulu had commercials. every other goddamn commercial is an Xbox commercial on Hulu for multiple games. I live in New York City. We got over 3-4 million people a day walk through 42nd Street, and they got billboards, 3 of them. Shout out to my man Bloody, and my condolences go out to him and his family. We was at Comic-Con, and we see these big damn billboards of Gears everywhere. This the biggest marketing city on the planet. Over every city in the United States, New York is where everybody want to be on 42nd Street and Broadway. They had the biggest. I don't even know how they even got that Gears sign up there. That was crazy.
Lemmy, you right.
Can they do
that.
better?
We had that in LA. Going through LAX and everything. We had it on buildings.
Now, can they do better in marketing? Of course they can, because we know they dropped the ball. But let's not forget, they're in a revamp stage. Everybody had that era where they had to revamp. You think the Switch is successful and the Wii U wasn't? Yeah, that's what happened. They dropped the ball. N64 dropped the ball. GameCube dropped the ball. PS3 was not what everybody wanted it to be. They dropped the ball. So Microsoft has made all the decisions, marketing, game studios. They're going in the right direction, going into next generation. I know everybody know they learned their lesson, because Xbox One OG, they didn't drop the ball. That was take the system, 5.1 gaming, 1080i gaming. We got something coming for you, and we're going to jump to 360. 360 took off. Then you had bad management who dropped the ball. Phil Spencer took over. It ain't been no hiccups with Phil Spencer. There hasn't been any.
No, it feels like since the One X drop, they've really been getting their shit together and nailing it.
They've been ramping it up. All these studios. We just had a surprise game from Ninja Theory Project. What is it called?
Mara.
Project Mara.
Traced out of its mind.
Nobody saw
Mara.
it. Right.
Yeah,
Nobody even.
You're jumping.
I'm just saying. No. Hold on. I know. I will. I just wanted to dabble in it. I said I did it already. I did it. Hold on, KMEGA.
But we ain't gonna talk about it.
We're not. I'm keep going. What I'm saying. What I'm saying is we're seeing improvement. We're seeing progression, and we're going into next gen with that momentum. Sony didn't drop that ball. They got the same right now. Sony's in a information drought. You got dudes arguing over SSDs. Facts. SSD don't mean power. You just need something to talk about that you think you might have an advantage. But Microsoft has actually given us something. They've shown you a game. They've shown you a system. They showed you 2 games because Halo Infinite looked crazy, and we only seen them talking and some goddamn rhinos.
Well, at least they're doing E3 still. I mean, that's
what we saw. Everybody talking about an engine, and then they just showed environments, trees, rhinos, and this dude talking after being woken up out of a slumber. What I'm saying is the momentum is real. So we don't have nothing to complain about when it comes to Microsoft, but nobody's really talking about Sony being absent from E3, being absent at Gamescom, not showing anything with PlayStation 5. They showed a loading demo for PlayStation 5 running an existing game. Oh, look, PlayStation 5 can load this game in 2 seconds instead of 14. SSD gate. That's what we got now. So they've been the marketing kings. Microsoft has ramped it up, but they keep talking like, oh, they dropped the ball, and this is done the third. This is today. They haven't dropped the ball since the X. Let's just stop. Let's erase the past. You can't live on something in 2013 when we in 2020. We have to move into the future, see what they're going to do. And their momentum right now, they're steamrolling. Devs coming out. This person coming out. The X is amazing. Series X going to be powerful. You got one person say, Gearbox dude, I don't know his name. Oh, I'm not impressed. You always got one dummy that says something retarded. You got the whole gaming development community boasting about something. Well, I'm not impressed. Well, what are you making? Because you ain't no engineer.
Well, he just happens to be on the payroll of the competition with the exclusive of Godfall, right?
Yeah.
But then you got these clowns running with one statement when you got 100 statements saying the opposite. But what I'm saying is Microsoft is in a good space. We're in a good space. And when it comes to custom consoles, they should put out some of consoles because the people that pre-order is going to purchase. Don't make it for the masses. When they have a game like Cyberpunk, I pre-ordered that. That game $300 for me. That game $65 for most. But if you want that collector's edition, that big statue, the bonus this and bonus that, those people who pre-order want that. They should have some of these. Look at the Cuphead console. Amazing.
That shit was fire.
And that's just a paint job. I ain't even going into. Let's talk about the pre-order systems from Australia for Forza. The Lamborghini systems. I was like, I'll take one of those. You know what I'm saying?
The Michael Jordan.
Let's not do that.
No,
Don't do that.
That was absolutely sick.
Matching sneakers. Come on. See, I'm all in. You see, I still have. I still have my Gears of War system, but I also got that. I'm talking about the original Gears from 4, and then I also got a Gears of War system from the launch of Gears 5, and I still have my Scorpion edition. I don't want to let none of them go. Me and KMEGA had this conversation. He said, "What you gonna do? You gonna trade it in?" Nah, that's a Scorpio edition. I'm not getting rid of that. So you have people like me. That's not for everybody. That's why you have pre-orders. GameStop takes pre-orders. They will fill in those pre-orders. They will not get extra bundles of Cyberpunk 2077 collector's editions. They get those for the people who pre-ordered because those are the hardcore. Yes, Microsoft made $20 million in controllers last year. That's the number, $20 million in controllers. They selling more controllers than Jesus. But the facts of the matter is, we want some of them custom consoles, especially when you bring out them bangers. I'm with my man, Sir X-Men. That Tomb Raider was amazing. I'm done.
All right, cool. No, that was nice. That was nice. And man, people, please hit that like button or the dislike button if you can't stand, Op. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't know what nationality he is. We don't know. You know what I'm saying? We don't know. You know what I'm saying? I mean, so anyway, but no, yeah, definitely hit the like or the dislike button, whatever the case, and definitely leave the comments in the description. Oh, yeah, well, that's the description in the link or whatever the hell, the comment section after you listen to the show because it is fun to read what people have to say about the show. I read all the comments. So anyway, another piece of news that came out that kind of threw me off. I was like, what? So we're going to talk about this and then we'll get into our topics. But this, I think, is probably maybe the main topic why everybody's talking about tonight is this rumor about Xbox having an exclusive of Superman. Now,
from Rocksteady, yeah.
From Rocksteady. Now it's spreading like wildfire. So again, we've heard different types of rumors. The whole Sega thing. Buying this, getting this. We'll get into a little bit more of that discussion about what Xbox in Japan here a little bit later. But I kind of want to focus on this and the name Superman, for instance. Like, I don't know, is that the right character for Xbox to try to have as a go-to character as a combatant against Sony Spider-Man? I'm going to go to Hood News Media on this. What is your thoughts on this? Do you think that this rumor is true, for one, and would you want Superman to be this to be the man, or would you want someone else to be for Xbox to go after?
Well, it all depends if the game is good or not, but I think Superman on the real is probably the only character that's bigger than Spider-Man in that global scope that you're trying to get everybody into.
You don't think
Batman holds his own? Yeah, Batman holds his own.
Batman's gone though.
Batman can hold his own, but he got his own games. And what I'm saying, like the stuff that's left for us to talk about.
Okay.
Gotcha.
But Superman is a hard game to make, man. His powers and his ability, you got to have some really creative people doing that game, because once he jumps in the air and starts flying, what do you do? Like, how do you load that? I don't know. It's just one of those things where I'm like, I've never seen a great Superman game.
Never. Only the arcade 2D scroller.
Yeah. Like it's just, how do you make a game based on the dude that can fly out of Earth? Like, I don't understand it. Like, it's one of those, I hope to God they make a game that maybe it's real, but I think if it is real, it's the best thing to come out as an exclusive for Xbox, because then you could have that major character, no matter who he is, going against Spider-Man, and they can't talk that shit no more that we don't have that, superhero or whatever, and maybe make a custom console for Superman. I don't know, but I like the rumor. I don't know if it's real though. I don't know how to take that rumor.
Okay. All right. Cool. What about you, Op? What is your thoughts about this? I mean, and who would be the character that you would want? Like, well, hold on before you go. Media. Is there any other character that you would want? Like, it doesn't matter about the prestige or the level of popularity, but would it be another character that you would want Xbox to have from DC or Marvel or for anywhere?
There's two characters that I want.
Mm-hmm.
I'm one of those dudes that been playing games for a long time. So when Xbox had that Matrix game, I thought that shit was phenomenal. So if they did that for me and Matrix 4 is coming out, I'll freaking lose my mind. But if I had to choose a superhero, it would have to be Wolverine. Like, I think just his blades, the X, it just makes sense to have somebody that's violent. Someone, because Xbox has always talked about like the kiddie console or not having graphics that's violent or whatever. So I would pick Wolverine.
Okay, cool. All right, what about you, Op?
Me personally, I don't believe in all these rumors at all. I really hope I don't like it when a publisher has exclusive rights to a big character IP like this, such as Marvel or DC. If they are going down this route, I can't really decide on one character. I have four in mind. So the first will be either Punisher. After that, Daredevil, Deadpool, or Gambit for me. They have one of those four for like
I have not
exclusive
heard
games.
of Daredevil one. I have not heard of Daredevil one, and that would be hot.
Daredevil would be fire, bro. Like, especially like I'll shoot from Assassin's Creed, but more parkour. That'll be fire for Xbox exclusive if they do go down that route. Yeah, Punisher, Deadpool, Daredevil, or Gambit for me.
Okay, all right. So you don't believe in it, but you think that so either Daredevil, Gambit, that's another character. I know if Triple Cup Chuck would be on here, that would be his guy. Motor Me, that would be his guy right there. Okay, what about you, Live? What do you believe in this rumor? What would you think that a Superman game would be like, and who would be the game if it's not Superman that you would want to take that place if there is going to be some kind of exclusive Xbox superhero game coming?
Well, I mean, I don't know if it's believable or not. I don't know. I mean, nowadays you don't really see too many multiplats of that. Like Spider-Man, we got because it was kind of like an agreement, so they can go and kind of get the whole Marvel movie rights and whatnot. But I mean, with Superman, I don't know how Xbox would do that.
Oh, that's it? Oh, he went away. His mic must have cut off or something. You there?
Like, why would they?
Okay. Yeah, your mic cut off. We didn't get to hear everything you said.
Oh, okay. No, I was just saying. As far as I don't know why they would go with Xbox per se, because there's nothing that necessarily ties Xbox to Warner Brothers for them to have to get Superman rights. But whatever, let's just entertain it. Could they make it? Possibly. I don't think they would stay on Earth though. I would think it would be something along the lines of Destiny meets what's that meets that game that everybody hated for a minute. What was it?
Well, that's not a good start.
No, I'm talking about
Death Stranding?
Not Death Stranding.
Oh.
No, you don't want a planet full of nobodies. No, I'm talking about.
Oh, you're talking about the EA game.
Oh,
no,
Anthem.
No Man's Sky.
Anthem.
No Man's Sky.
Oh, No Man's Sky. Okay.
Yeah, because you can go all those different planets and there's like occupied or whatever by like different creatures or whatever.
Mostly plants.
Yeah, mostly plants.
Now, Anthem, you don't think Anthem would be a better, because Anthem got that flying mechanism.
That's what I'm saying. The mechanics of Anthem would be insane.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't say Anthem, but you got load times every time you fly anywhere. So, I wouldn't necessarily go with Anthem per se. Graphically, yeah, but I would say as far as going to different planets, that's why I'm not talking about the art style. I'm just talking about like the ability to go from planet to planet, because it can't be something where you're just on Earth the whole time.
Well, if it's an origin story, basically, they could.
I don't think they need it necessarily, because Batman was an origin story. Batman, he was already a veteran in the game. You just have it where he fights, like say it's all out war.
But his powers is less though. His powers, he don't really gotta do nothing. He ain't gotta do much.
Well, see, that's the thing. So what are you gonna do with Superman? You either gonna nerf all his powers and then basically make him Batman, or you going to allow him to have his full ability, but you have cool weapons that can slow him down. As far as like what the enemies have, like maybe you go against a Brainiac who manipulates people, which that's what he does, and maybe he gets a Lobo to be like Lobo's not necessarily a bad guy, but somebody he can manipulate to see his point of view to fight Superman while he gets all these other guys that he has to deal with. That could be a thing. But I think the most interesting thing is the challenge of trying to do it while making it not, a messy pile of shit.
Right. I mean, that's kind of, I think, why a lot of developers has been afraid to mess with the game. Is that reason? It's because the last, what was the last, the N64 Superman? And was that the last one, or was there another attempt on
but you basically
later consoles? I can't.
Yeah, on the 360, that was a Superman.
Okay,
actually.
yeah, they were. Yeah, that was the last one I played.
Was it Superman Returns or the first Superman? One of them. Yeah, it was Superman Returns, I think. That was the one that it was like the flying was like the best part of the game.
It was, yeah.
But there was really nothing else to the game because, like, when you're mad, stronger than everybody. So, yeah, you're just fighting planes and robots and shit.
The movie sucked. The game sucked.
What movie sucked?
Oh, damn.
Oh,
Superman Returns.
It
was trash.
The Man of Steel was sweet.
Yeah,
the Man of Steel is a different whole beast, but Superman Returns is forgettable.
It wasn't.
Listen, if I had to make a Superman game, I would make it where the sun, he had to do like an eclipse of sun where his powers is limited for a certain
he's overpowered in that universe, man.
Like, it has to be an eclipse of the sun. He don't got his powers a certain time of day or some shit like that. But,
well, I mean, it could be like, okay, it's just like all you really have to do is, and then I'll go to you, Shady, on this. To me, it's basically just kind of do what WB does with Mortal Kombat does with Injustice. I should say Mortal Kombat with I can't think of the name. NetherRealm does with Injustice. Basically, I mean, there's no way the Joker and Harley Quinn should be able to fight with Superman and stuff. But obviously, there could be something that affects Superman to where he doesn't be just OP until they bring in OP characters. Like, I mean, you can.
Nigga, that's a fighting game.
No, it's not.
That's a fighting game.
No, he just was giving you
make no analogy of. That's a dumbass analogy.
Oh my god!
I don't know how that's a dumb analogy when the
that's a dumb. You can't mix that.
The stories is beloved more than some of the movies from DC.
But that's a multiverse, and you see that's a multiverse.
Oh Lord Jesus! Okay,
that's Comic-Con up in here now.
Okay, so the point I'm making is that you can do something like that to where it doesn't make, because I think that's the one thing that everybody's saying. Like, if you do make a Superman game, how is it going to make it to where it feel like there's a challenge within the game? And that's why I'm saying, like, you could take methods from what NetherRealm did with Injustice games, and where everybody's kind of like fighting each other, but where Superman is kind of hampered by something, and then progresses throughout the game. So I don't know how that sounded crazy, 100, but I'll give you.
It didn't. It could be a witch that put a spell on him because he's weak against magic and kryptonite.
Right.
Come on.
It's really not that complicated.
It's not that complicated.
It is complicated.
It's gonna be a dope game.
Right.
No, can y'all keep it logical right now? Can we keep it logical?
Comic books are not logical. It's fantasy.
It's fantasy.
NetherRealm is in a whole different fantasy. That's a fantasy world.
What? They're human beings
no.
just like
Let him
us.
go. Let him go.
No,
Let him go.
man.
We're gonna use this
No,
later.
man,
Let him go.
You using your analogy.
I can't do that. I can't do that.
No, you using your analogy on what NetherRealm did with them characters. That's a 2D fighter. That's not a open world game or nothing like that. If you gonna do,
talking about that's not what he's saying.
Talking about Superman. Superman.
He's talking about.
Think about it. Is Superman is. I'm talking about Superman.
But
so Superman, if you can't tone him down, you can't tone Superman is Superman.
What about them DC movies where he get his butt beat?
Right.
How you think they successful? You think he just come and fly, save the day, and just beat everybody down?
Guess what he get his ass beat by? Doomsday. Some
Dark Side,
characters.
Brainiac.
Brainiac. All that other stuff. But think about it. That has to be an open world. Think about it.
Where Superman, as strong as he is, would get manipulated by people who are way less stronger than him.
Hang on. I'm going to end this conversation, and I'm going to end it, and I ain't going to talk about it. Skip me, because I don't want to talk about it no more.
All right.
I'm giving it a buck.
You taking your turn, though.
Yeah, you're taking your turn right now.
If you saw Justice War Doom, he said, I cannot use my powers on this planet. And he kicked the hell out of Dooms. He kicked the hell out of Doomsday and
Facts. He did do that.
He said I could not. I held back for a reason. For a reason,
right? Because he would have destroyed the
game
Earth.
That you got though. He said I will destroy stuff. I held back. But when the dark side came in, he was like, all right, dark side, you're already destroying the world, so let's go.
All right, so let me make a point here while you over here rambling. All right, case in point, Dragon Ball Z. All those dudes could destroy planets with fingers and shit. You know what I'm saying? That's
a 2D fighter.
But that's not a fight. Man, Kakarot is not a 2D fighter.
That is a fighter game.
Oh my God! It's still
we leaving the Xbox world and we going into Dragon Ball Z.
Well, I'm talking about just trying to make a scenario of trying to make them understand
turn into
where I'm
Smash
coming
podcast.
From. I know, but I'm saying just for that, like all these shows,
Round
like
two.
This is fantasy, this is all this and everything, and all you have to do is just have the perfect narrative to make the game feel difficult, and there you can have any different type of scenario that can do that. It's just to make people feel like the game is to where he isn't all powerful.
That's why the game. That's why them games been trashed because he's OP.
Okay.
But that's what we're talking about.
That's what we're talking about.
You can't make the Superman game because he's OP.
These devs and writers are a lot more talented and smarter.
Yeah, we are.
Let's go. Next.
Thank you. So, Shady, what is your thoughts about this? I mean, do you think that this rumor is true? And if you don't, that's fine. But what would be the character that you would like for Xbox to have instead in that place?
I'm not too sure if it is true, but I mean, it could be because Rocksteady has not done anything since Batman Arkham Knight. Nothing. Like this entire gen, they've been dead silent. And I think if they were working on a game that was truly for all platforms, they would probably have been speaking about it. But if, this is a huge if, this is an exclusive deal, that could be a reason why they've been just so quiet, because they're under the thumb at the moment of Microsoft. It's Microsoft that's going to be talking about the game, not Rocksteady. So they're kind of under an NDA, if you will, because of the deal. That's if it's a thing. That might explain Rocksteady's silence for the better part of 5 years now. So maybe just because of that. And then the rumors are also that it could be a Superman game or a Justice League game or even
that would be dope.
Yeah, or even like a Suicide Squad game. I would rather it was one of the last two, whether like a Justice League or a Suicide Squad, just because then you're not 100%.
Hold on, Shady. Let me cut you off for a second. Sir X-Man in the chat. I just seen it. So I apologize. He said a Wonder Woman game would be good.
I think you'd have issues with that, same as Superman. She's almost a female Superman, right? She's just insanely powerful. So to rely on just a Superman as the hero, it would be difficult, but I'm willing to suspend some disbelief. I mean, in Spider-Man, we all know the guy can pick up cars and throw them a football field, no problem. And he's getting KO'd by thugs in the streets, right? Like, you just have to suspend your disbelief so they can actually make a video game. I'm willing to allow Superman to be beat down and actually, knocked out. I'm not up to par on all the comic book lore of the day, but I think Superman today has been somewhat rewritten to be not as godlike. Like he actually can be busted up, and if you do enough damage over time, he does get weak. Like he needs to be constantly charged by the sun as opposed to just be bomb-proof, bulletproof, everything-proof kind of thing from the past. I think they have toned him down a bit. But other than that, I mean, if it is a Superman game, maybe they can do some giant, I don't know, kryptonite EMP bomb that just blanketed the area and he's weak. Or I like that Eclipse idea, something with the sun. It's changed how he just doesn't have his abilities. Like, it's a video game at the end of the day. I'm willing to suspend my, hey, that's not how Superman works. But he's not my first choice of character, that's for sure. If it was a Justice League game, I think they could make it where something corrupted Superman and he's actually the villain. And the other heroes are trying to, bring him back to the light side, if you will. I think that'd be kind of cool. I've seen in the chat some guys brought up Spawn and Punisher. I think those would make fantastic video games as well. They have in the past. I loved the Punisher game that was on the original Xbox back in the day. My God, it was so good, especially the PC version because it was gruesome. But I think those would be great. I myself, I'd love to see an insane Judge Dredd game. I like that comic. I like that character. It is hardcore. It's savage. It has a lot of social commentary going with it as well. I think that'd be a nice franchise to come into gaming. But I'm also with Hood News, man. I'm not a big fan of like massive properties like this getting bought up and be made exclusive. It's one thing to create your own IP and make an exclusive thing. That's fine. But to go out and buy something that's popular from a company that has the money to make the game anyways, so it's not like it couldn't exist without your money. I'm not a big fan of that. I think these types of global IP should be for everybody, and if the company wants to make it, they should make it for everybody. But from a business side, I understand why they would take money buyouts, but I don't like talking from business side of things. I'm a customer at the end of the day, so I try and speak from a customer's perspective. So I don't necessarily hope that it's true, but it'd be all right. Microsoft is pretty open as to where you can play their game, so it wouldn't be that bad if it's coming from them.
Right. No, I totally agree with that. I mean, it just take for me. I mean, there's so many options that they could go to. Like the one thing that I heard from somebody, I think that was from media, which was Wolverine. That would be perfect. I think that's
the Wolverine would
character.
Be sweet.
That'd be perfect. I've said Black Panther. That would be hot. He's got the popularity now. I mean,
he's got a lot of gadget play as well. Black Panther has like all the sweet toys and gadgets that would make for some fun gameplay moments.
Yeah, like and I mean there's plenty, but that's with the MCU. Like if you're going to go with DC, there's plenty of other characters as well out there. So I mean there's a lot of options. Superman does seem the most difficult, but again, it also it also determine what dev would do it. And our boy Super G, the driver, aka the driver, he sent us something that was from the Greg Miller show. I don't know what the actual name of the show is, but
kind of funny.
Kind of funny.
Yeah, kind of funny. But basically, they were talking about that. They kind of just came this out saying like, look, these rumors might be true, and since Spider-Man was pretty much a quadruple A title because of much money that they put into it, not because of how many people is in the studio, but how much money they spent into the game. It's basically like you would think the initiative would be the ones to work on this type of title.
An actual in-house.
Actual in-house. Because I mean, really, Insomniac is now in PlayStation's wheelhouse, and so that makes sense. So, what do you guys think about that? Do you think if this rumor about any of these superhero titles is about to come exclusive to Xbox, do you think the initiative would be the perfect studio to make it?
I think they could do a good job, but I mean, with Warner Brothers, like Rocksteady is an insanely quality studio, and they actually own all the IP. So I would much rather they take their resources and make their own IP game like that, exclusive or not, and let Microsoft Studios maybe develop either legendary IP, brand new IP, or sequels to established hits. That's what I would go with myself.
Anybody else?
I need to go. Forgot about your light skinned brother, but it's all right.
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry.
That's like the second. That's like the second topic, but I'm not gonna bring it up.
Okay, well, go ahead. Go ahead. My bad.
I think a character that would really put us over the top, and you went on to say that Black Panther would be awesome. His popularity has challenged financially all three Avenger movies. If anybody they should bring over it should be Black Panther. And I'm a Wolverine guy, but Wolverine ain't got enough gameplay wise. Wolverine's just a savage. People love him because he don't care about nobody. He's like my man so shady in 100. He don't give two fracks. You know what I'm saying? But if you have like a Black Panther, like the sci-fi capabilities and the scientific side and the futuristic side, he brings everything possible with the detective skills as Batman, with the fighting skills of Captain America, the strength of a lot of other dudes. He would be completely amazing to bring over as an exclusive character, but I would want Microsoft to do it. Now, the Superman thing, I ain't too hyped for Superman. They could barely make a Superman movie. So that's not something I would be.
Fall back on it, bro. Do not slander Man of Steel now.
No, I'm not talking about Man of Steel. I'm talking about just the whole generation of Supermans in whole. Like, I've been watching Superman probably when you was still swimming for an exit. Facts.
Christopher Reeve.
Wow.
So you're saying that the Christopher Reeve movies weren't good?
There was only 2 of them that was good.
Okay, I was going to say. Now you better put your mic on.
3 and 4 was horrible.
Yeah, no, they weren't good. They weren't good movies.
Let's not do that. And Superman Returns was horrible. Man, it was a brand new story, a brand new Superman, because we all know that's not the Superman story. Y'all do know that, right? They had to rewrite that and take the character and then write a movie around the character, because that's not the story. So I own Man of Steel. Okay, I love it. You know what I'm saying? What I'm saying is, let's just talk about Superman on a whole. Those movies are horrible.
I got you.
You know what I'm saying? But that's not the character I want. I would like a Black Panther because he brings that Batman element on top of everything else he do.
He does. He's a very playable character.
I love Wolverine. All he could do is hack and slash.
Well, and technically Wolverine, because he's indestructible with his healing, you end up with the same scenario. And like, how do you beat this guy? Because no matter what, he could take an atomic bomb and just regenerate.
Remember,
Wolverine, same deal.
Batman had the fighting skills in the game, right? He had the detective stuff, right? And then he had the mind game at the same time with the drama with the Joker and how he feel about Catwoman. It was a whole bunch of elements to make that game what it was. He just wasn't running around kicking behind in the shadows.
Yeah, Wolverine had a decent game though for
the 360.
No, he did.
Yeah. That came out of nowhere. It was so gruesome.
Yeah.
It's like I'm a Blade fan. I don't want Blade.
Oh, that'd be a sweet game too.
Blade would be fire. What?
I'm a Blade dude.
Okay,
I'm a Blade dude.
But why would you want Blade? Blade would be amazing.
Oh, you know why?
Yeah.
Because Blade at the end of the day is a Wolverine in a vampire suit.
No,
he's just gonna kick some tail.
He's not.
He's not investigating. He don't want to talk. No, he's kicking tail, and I'm not knocking him. Trust me. I went to sleep when that DVD came out. I went to sleep to Blade every night. That was my bedtime story. I love Blade. What I'm saying is, Black Panther offers more than both of them. That's just what it is.
Well, I get that, saying, but we also got to look at it as DC characters too. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, but what DC character movie ever came out bigger than Black Panther?
We're not talking about. Listen.
That's what I'm saying. I'm talking about popularity.
Okay, but there's plenty
Was
of
Aquaman over $1 billion? I think Aquaman.
Yeah, Aquaman got over $1 billion.
It's
Wonder Woman is pretty big.
Wonder Woman got over $1 billion.
Wonder Woman was 800 million.
Okay, but Aquaman
Black
got over $1 billion.
Black
like 1.3, wasn't it? Something like that.
Black Panther is surpassing them still. I get what you're saying.
Okay,
Aquaman, I love the movie.
Okay,
you know what I get a kick out of this whole exclusive possibility situation is when Spider-Man was first exclusive, it caused a lot of ruckus. You know, people were upset that they wouldn't be able to play Spider-Man on their Xbox or PC or what have you. And the Sony fans were like, too bad, it's the way it is. Go out and get your own exclusive. Xbox should go and get their own. This is how business is done. And now that there's a potential that Xbox might have actually gone out and done this, we have that exact same fan base now on massive damage control saying stuff like Rocksteady would never do an exclusive. They would never do something like that. Or speaking like a lot of us used to was, you shouldn't be taking things like Spider-Man and making them exclusive. Like Sony controls the film rights of Spider-Man and that's it. They don't own Spider-Man. It's not theirs to do with what they please, just the film rights. maybe that's why people think Sony has a right to do what they're doing with Spider-Man or Marvel's doing it, but it's not. Like, it's a bad look. But now that Microsoft might, and that's only a might, be doing this, we have that same group of people suddenly flipping and being like, no, that's wrong, or there's no way in hell it could possibly happen. I think that's kind of funny to see.
Right. I definitely agree. I'm gonna before we get to the next topic, I'm gonna kind of read through the top 10 DC characters and go from there. Let's see. We'll start at number
Overall or
10.
movie making money?
Man, overall.
I'm just asking.
Overall. Aquaman is number 10. Shazam is number 9. The Flash is number 8. Catwoman, The Flash, Wally West, Nightwing, Green Lantern, Wonder Woman, Batman, Superman. So I mean that
in the comics.
Overall, the most overall popular superheroes. I'm looking at it right now.
Oh, popularity, not money generating. Because Batman rules that universe.
Yeah, Batman does. Then Spider-Man right behind him. I think.
Again,
No. I'm talking about for DC.
I'm going,
for DC.
Oh, just
I'm
DC.
going for most popular. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
DC,
so that has to be comic
DC
book.
Comics. It says 80-year
Right.
legacy. 80-year legacy. Number 1 is Superman. So maybe that's why they targeted, because he is the
Right.
number 1 character. He's the number 1 character out of all of them. Now I could see there could be, but again, the Batman series is completely different. Now this would be a crazy scenario if they would do something like allow Xbox to take over the Batman Beyond saga.
That'd be pretty sick.
And then then you hear the stuff about the Court of the Owls going to be the next Batman game if they just stay traditional to old Bruce Wayne and let like Xbox have I forgot what that kid's name was, but the Batman Beyond character. Then you got something really cooking, because then you don't have to, you got the same type of scenario, except it'd be more futuristic, it'd be different, all that. But I don't know. It's just a rumor. I don't believe it so much myself, but it would be very smart if Xbox would go ahead and try to jump on boat too, because let's be honest, Nintendo has an exclusive now. So it makes sense. So I don't know.
I think the biggest thing that's leading toward it being a real thing is just how quiet they've been, man.
Crap game?
No, it's not bull crap. It's a very highly ranked game. It didn't do well on it didn't do well on the Switch because of voice chat. Facts. I own it. The game is awesome.
Would anyone else?
Let me go ahead and check out. Let me shout out the chat, because I'm just now seeing the chat. Y'all supposed to be watching the chat for me. Y'all too busy over here.
I ain't watching no chat.
Anyway, Sir X-Man up in here. He says, "Make the boys video games for Amazon."
That'd be sick.
That would be sick.
I'd be down with that. Like, would anyone else like to play a villain in a game instead of always a hero? Make a villain game?
Absolutely, yes.
That's the thing. That's the thing about DC.
Why you can't make
DC,
the what you call it?
DC is the best.
They have the best.
My thing is, if I was Microsoft, I'm gonna keep it a buck. If I was Microsoft, I'll go to Warner Brothers and say, "Hey, can I make an exclusive character?" What they have? You got Deadshot. You got all these. You got you got the you
That's
got
Sony
a bunch
property though.
Everything Spider-Man is owned by Marvel.
Yeah,
just the film rights for Spider-Man.
No, I'm talking not Deadshot. The other guys, they got one. Everybody got one. I forgot his name.
Deathstroke?
Deathstroke.
You're talking about Deathstroke.
Yeah, Deathstroke. Everybody, you know what I'm saying? They already got. You know what I'm saying?
That would be dope. Yeah.
You can make a
He's an
Green
anti-hero.
Arrow
Yeah.
game.
Yeah, no, that would be great.
I'll get exclusive something like that, and you run with they running with Marvel. You go run with DC.
Okay.
That's that marketing.
But I'm saying that's that marketing. Like, I mean, I can see that. Like, I mean, Nintendo has Marvel and PlayStation has Marvel. Go ahead and get some DC
man,
characters.
That would be
great.
How you know? You don't own it.
Anyway,
I gave it away.
You didn't have that game,
gentlemen.
I knew your game library. Don't do that.
Let me go ahead and pay the bills. Let me pay the bills. New York Music. He said a hardcore kick-ass
awesome.
game.
No chat though.
Sir X-Man. He said, "What about Iron Man?" And he also said the Kraven the Hunter origin game would be good. Yeah, but that's in Spider-Man. That would be in whatever this. That might be in Spider-Man 2 or Spider-Man 3, because that is all part of the Spider-Man saga. So.
And what about a character that a lot of people don't know about? What about the You know what I'm saying? Man, it's so much stuff that you can go get that you can bring to these new fans. We old guys. Sorry to say, we own debt.
Yeah.
We own debt.
All right. Oh, goodness.
Know what I'm
All
saying?
right. Let's get on to the next topic, man. This fool
Thank
talking
you,
about.
KMEGA.
Oh, man. All right. Let's get on to it.
My cookies is going down. Come on, I need some more.
I'm about to mail you some.
Man. So,
Please.
okay. So now to allude to what 108 brought up earlier, and that was talking about Ninja Theory's game that just dropped out of nowhere. Nobody had no idea that was coming. And then, of course, we seen the Hellblade 2 trailer. And, of course, we was at E3, and we got a chance to play. And other people, because that game has been out on beta for a little while, which was Bleeding Edge. Some people say that they don't like it. There's other people that say they love it. I'm one of the people that loved it. They couldn't get enough. It won awards out there at E3. It's very unique. It's very different. And it's to me, it's just a cool little game. But they have those three games coming out. What is your thoughts about Ninja Theory? Could Ninja Theory actually come out to be, because they've made a lot of bangers. They're going back to Kung Fu Chaos, right? That really wasn't my favorite game from them.
I love that game.
Heavenly Sword was my favorite game. Was my favorite game until they made Hellblade.
Awesome.
But could Ninja Theory now that have the financial backing, they don't have to, they can make whatever they want. Phil is given the creative freedom to do what they want to do. Could Ninja Theory be that next top tier studio, not just with Xbox, but overall that could be talked with the Rockstars and the Naughty Dogs, etc. And to me, I feel 343 is fantastic in the coalition as well. Could they be up there with them in all of these top tier studios? I'm finna go back to our guest. I'm gonna go to you, Shady. What is your thoughts about Ninja Theory, about the game that they dropped, and what I just asked?
God damn, of course you come to me right after take a fat rip off their spawn.
My bad.
Well, yeah, man. The game was sweet.
Puff, puff,
It was,
Hey, pass that to my man.
Cookies and passing.
You
Come
passed the
on.
passing.
Yeah,
He said he's done with the cookies.
It's all legal up here in my country, baby. It's all good. No love the game. Was it? I thought the trailer looked fire, man. That thing was like ray traced out of its damn mind. It was a recreation of their office, and it looked bananas. Like, I just looked incredible. I think that studio they're hungry, man. They're insanely hungry. They've proven themselves with a low amount of resources, and I'm excited to see what they can do with Microsoft's billions. You know what I'm saying? So bring it on. They're good. It's a good quality studio.
Oh man,
So Shady, didn't I tell you about doing that? You better open the window. Don't you be doing that in my house, boy. You better act right. I told you. You gonna get out. You gonna stop disrespecting my house, boy.
Oh, man.
It's a green party. Let it roll. Let it roll.
Oh man.
Sometimes my throat gets all clogged up because I smoke so much
my
good
goodness.
shit.
Okay. Op, what is your thoughts about Ninja Theory? Could they be that next top tier studio that can be talked about amongst the greats? And what did you think about that new trailer that they dropped with that one game? What's it called? Mara? Yeah.
It's Project Mara. As far as Ninja Theory, like, they should be, I guess, regarded as one of the greats out there because they're actually
I'm
pushing media
hearing
forward.
some feedback in the background.
I'm not sure
What
who
is
this is.
going on?
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, as far as Ninja Theory, they should be considered one of the greats going forward, especially if they prove themselves in Mara. Because, like, they're actually one of the few devs trying to push the medium forward. It's not just bullshit cinematics, like other cheap shit during the video games as well. So, like, as far as like the Mara project, man, like, it looks dope for like, I don't think it's gonna be a traditional horror game, especially how they described it in a little mini Vidoc. They're trying to go for like the same thing with Hellblade. They're trying to, I guess, not necessarily put emphasis, but like, probably show everybody the experience of those having mental illnesses and specific ones going forward as well. So I don't think it'll be a traditional horror game, but more of like showing the experience of what those type of people will go through, I guess, on a day-to-day basis. But it's gonna be dope going forward. I really do hope like history to shake up, I guess, how people look at AAA games, gaming in general, because I really am tired of ridiculous ambiguity as far as what regards AAA. Because for the longest, say it, either the size of the studio or budget. There have been plenty of studios this generation who are relatively small compared to these larger studios, and they make quote unquote AAA games, or like in this area, they said they made a AAA game on indie budget. I think that's what they said with Hellblade. But at that point, it kind of throws a wrench in the whole concept of saying AAA games are made to their budget. At that point, so like I really would hope, I guess we can sit down, try to figure out like a clear consensus or definition of what a AAA game actually is, and try to figure out if it actually really matters or not. Try to classify a game as AAA or not, because at the end of the day, we all play games that we like. Everybody in this panel can attest to this. We play games that were AAA, indie, play wherever, and we have enjoyed them fondly, more so than other games in different, I guess, categories or tiers at that point. So I think people really just back off, stop putting so much emphasis on AAA, because it's really not doing anything good. You just look like a casual who don't know what you're talking about. There's a lot of emphasis, passion, like games only being AAA, kind of rally behind that, because it's stupid at the end of the day. You really should not judge a game, or just really should just judge a game as far as what is listed as a tier in the gaming industry. But that's all I gotta say.
All right, cool. What about you, Live?
Word.
That's it, just word?
Wait.
Uh-oh.
State the question.
Thanks for that in-depth analysis.
Yeah, thank you, Live, for that in-depth analysis. Damn. Shady's a fool. Anyway, question was, the thing about Ninja Theory is Ninja Theory. Could Ninja Theory be one of those studios that has the opportunity to be talked amongst the greats, like the Naughty Dogs, the CD Projekt Reds, the Rock Stars, the 343s, all of that? And what did you think about the trailer that you seen?
Oh no, the trailer looks interesting. I mean, we didn't see much, but what I saw looked interesting.
How about those graphics, man? Woo!
Yeah, the graphics look great, but I gotta see more. Yeah, I would say any developer has the opportunity to be talked in the same breath as the greats. I think people always misconstrue like how great these developers are. It's like, look, man, you gotta start somewhere. Asobo Studio, people was clowning them for making Disney Rush games until they made a Plague Tale. They were like, hold up, they can make that? Yeah, motherfucker.
Flight Simulator.
Yeah, oh my God.
That's what I'm saying. Like people act like just because you make cartoon shit that you can't do anything else. It's like, no, that was the objective. It's supposed to look like cartoon. Like, that's what it's supposed to look like. That's the art choice that they went with. Like, people act like Naughty Dog was like always making like Uncharted and The Last of Us. Bro, they made Crash Bandicoot. Crash motherfucking Bandicoot. Like, have y'all motherfuckers played that game?
Preach.
That is the worst fucking one of the worst platformers. Like
Mario Killer.
Mario was way better than that shit. Well,
it wasn't that long ago that Sony themselves were bragging about pushing Toy Story-like graphics on their systems, and everyone went bananas. Like, it's not a bad thing to have that graphic style.
No, they had a commercial that said their games look as good as Toy Story.
Oh my!
Remember that?
Oh, I do remember that. Yeah.
Oh, dropping some facts.
Yeah, but like everybody got to start somewhere, man. Like, I think people just put too much. They just feel like, well, if this dev did this type of game, they can't do anything else. Which I just think that narrative is bogus. Because we've been saying, like, bro, people love Horizon Zero Dawn, but that same dev was making Killzone, and nobody gave a shit. Like, the games always look good, but people looked at Guerrilla Games like Crytek. They can make pretty games that nobody wants to fucking play.
No, they can make pretty games that don't run on no current hardware.
Am I the only ignorant ass that thought that Ninja Theory was a Japanese developer before Hellblade came out? Because I
Somebody shut his mic off.
Well, no, I mean,
I did. I always thought they
because
were.
Of the name Ninja
I
Theory.
saw them, I was just like, whoa, shit! I was totally
no,
wrong.
I thought they were because I didn't find out about Ninja Theory being from out there in Europe than I did until they
Remember
did.
that?
I
Yeah.
do remember that. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
dropping
Devil
some
May Cry?
facts.
Yeah, Devil May
like,
Cry. That's when I found out.
well,
See, I thought they were Japanese up until Hellblade, and I saw them, and I was just kind of like, oh, nope, I was wrong.
Yeah, I was like, what? yeah, because I mean, Enslaved was a game that you would think that would have been made by a Japanese dev. The Kung Fu Chaos, the same. I mean, like, yeah,
Kung Fu Chaos was the jump off. I used to love that.
Yeah, and especially Heavenly Sword. Like, I mean, a lot of their games had a lot of the Japanese overtone to it. So I thought that a lot of the Japanese lore. So
Yeah, I think
thought
they did other Metroid
So
as
yeah,
well.
and I was like, whoa,
Yeah.
they're not. That just shows the genius of Ninja Theory. That's why I told this to 108 and them. I told this to everybody at E3 in 2018 when that announcement came out. I said, everybody better start paying attention to Ninja Theory. That's going to be. I said, look, I love what Playground Games can do. We'll see what's going on with Fable and stuff like that. And I said, but the two studios that everybody better start taking notice to, on top of what they're doing, is Ninja Theory and The Initiative, because that to me is like ridiculous to me. Like, Ninja Theory they got the money to make the stuff that they want to make. And man, like I'm really high on them. I've been high on them, but I'm
they
like,
come off
they
as
could be
the
up
type
there.
of studio that, like, they found out that Microsoft was looking for studios to purchase, and they knocked on Microsoft stores like, hey, come over here and buy us. We got ideas like crazy. We just need funding, because that was always the studio's issue, was they just needed funding to pursue their own dreams, and they wanted it bad. And Microsoft all of a sudden is opening up that wallet. I wouldn't be surprised if Ninja Theory came to them and was just like, hey, you should buy us.
Oh man,
We
okay.
need this.
All right, cool. All right, go ahead, Live. You wasn't done?
I don't think you could count out any studio, to be honest. You can't. I think a lot of people would just be like, well, other than 343 Coalition, maybe The Initiative and Ninja Theory, and obviously Turn 10 and Playgrounds. Everybody else, all the new studios, Obsidian, people were like, well, they did make Outer Worlds.
Hood News walking in the house. Man, he coming on in.
No,
you good. No, you good. Hey, you good. Go ahead, walk around. We looking at you.
It's a real podcast. That's what we do.
It's a real podcast. This is what we do. Go ahead, man.
Just don't start smacking and chewing gum. Be good.
Right, seeing your ass, you get cut off. Anyway,
no potato chips in your life.
Go ahead, Live.
Yeah, but I was just saying, like, like Compulsion Games, you got In Exile. Like, people keep on thinking like, well, this is what they did in the past, so that's all we're going to be able to do. And I go back to what Naughty Dog is. Like, before Sony bought them, all they were doing was freaking Crash Bandicoot. Like, bro.
And Sly Cooper.
But like, bro, who would have thought that they would have done Uncharted and The Last of Us? Nobody, bro. Not at that time.
And you got to say Sly Cooper had those Crackdown graphics.
Not even.
No, like the cartoony black outline. Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
That was the style of gameplay. I mean, style of graphics.
Yeah,
but some people think because you do that type of game, you can't do a realistic game. Facts.
Yeah,
just wanted to bring that up.
But that's it. But like, I think a lot of times people they gotta understand the game when they come to the concept of what they want it to be. It don't always got to be this hyper realistic. Now, if that's what they're aiming for, that's fine. But not all of them want to do that. There's certain stories that they want to have told a certain way. I mean, you go watch anime nowadays. Most anime is like drawn a specific way, but then they have different levels to it. Like, some are very detailed, some are not so detailed. Some they stay very traditional with the animation. Some halfway go into CGI, or full CGI. So it really depends on what the devs want to do with their project. I think that people just if it's not an art style that they particularly care for, they just write the whole thing off as shit and just kitty shit, whatever.
You know, when it comes to the longevity of a game looking good, I think those games that have an artistic style to them age so much better than the games that look quote unquote real.
Facts.
Like God of War today looks insane. Let's come back to God of War in 5 years when we're comparing it to the games that are out then. And you're going to be like, this looks like ass. This isn't even touching real life compared to today's games.
But
So
people can go and look back at Sea of Thieves and still play it because it still looks
it's absolutely gorgeous.
Aesthetically pleasing.
You know, and that's exactly. And think about it. That's why those cartoons we grew up on in the 80s and 90s, talking about X-Men, Batman,
poor animations.
Go back and look at Transformers.
Terrible.
Beast Wars. You be like, what the fuck? And when Beast Wars came out, I thought that
the
shit
TV is too advanced for those animations right now.
That shit, I'm like, I can't watch this.
Oh man,
so I've always found the artistic games just age much better for looks.
Absolutely. Let me give a big shout out to a couple of people. The Don is in the building. Sleepy Goblin, one of the people that's a part of the GRG family, man. What's going on, man? Appreciate you coming by. He always comes into my stream. I've just started kind of streaming heavy. And, you know what I'm saying? He's there every time that I stream. So, man, I really appreciate that. Future Generations, what's going to you? Verge, what's happening with you, bro? And so many more of you guys, man. Really appreciate it, man. Please hit that like button. We hit over 100. We over a rack. I'm pretty sure now, since I said that, it's going to drop to 80. That's cool, though. We hit it, though. So, I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys checking us out for sure. Go ahead and finish what y'all was going to say, and then I'll go to Hood Medium because he didn't get a chance to talk about this topic.
I'm good.
Oh, okay. All right. What is your thoughts, Hood Media? I mean, what did you think about that game that you seen from them Wednesday? And is it possible to maybe that Ninja Theory could be one of those studios that has the potential to be talked about amongst the great studios that's out now?
Definitely. I think for me, I'm gonna say something a little out of control, out of pocket, but
what up,
my studio is really Compulsion. I'm waiting for them to drop their next game. I feel they're more like the BioShock. I like how they narrate their games. I love what they do. But as far as Ninja Theory, they've blown my mind already. But I like the fact that they're more socially responsible. They're more on the mental, stuff that people are going through and having all these mental issues. And I don't think they want to be that big studio that everyone wants them to be. I think they're more happy with just making those, not AA, but just making a game that just fits the budget or what they're trying to get to. I don't think they want to make those big Red Dead games or anything like that. I think they just want to do quick games, get them out, maybe 15 hours, nothing crazy, nothing big, but it'll be great to see Xbox actually compete for once within their studios. And I think they could bring it to Initiative or anybody else on that and just kind of compete amongst each other to see who has the most talent as far as visuals and gameplay and stuff like that. So I think they're going to make Xbox a lot better just by the way that they approach games and trying to push the hardware.
Did anyone think it was going to be Ninja Theory that was going to already have showed off 3 titles that are coming just at one studio?
That was going to be one of the things that I was going to talk about as well. Did I get to you 108? I thought I got to you first. Okay,
again.
I'm going to go to one.
Listen, man, I'm going to email you some anthrax because this is getting crazy.
Listen. My next topic.
Disrespectful. You know I'm your brother. Come on, son.
I know.
Come on.
My next topic that I'm going to get to, you're going to be first, but I got to get to 100. I got to get to 100.
I ain't got to be first. I
No,
I just want to be in the talk. I haven't even been in the talk. I'm like the hype man around here. I feel like you DMX and I'm the dude like, yeah.
Yeah, man, I'm 100. I said I'm 100. I'm MC Hammer and you Too Big MC. That's all right. We can do that. You know what I'm saying? So
damn.
Woo!
You Shock G and I'm Tupac. Damn.
Oh shit. That's right. My career is over. Damn. Anyway, yeah, so you'll be saying, look over your shoulder. That's where you're headed. Oh, damn. Anyway, 100. Where you at? You there? He went to the liquor store. Okay, what did you think about?
I ain't the goddamn liquor store.
Anyway, what is your thoughts about Ninja Theory and about that game that they showed, man? Was you hype about it when you seen it? And could Ninja Theory be talked about amongst the great studios?
They are the great studio. You saw what they did with Hellblade.
Okay.
And they had a low budget. It's not. You don't have to do analytics on that. They got a big budget now. They got multiple people. It ain't rocket science. Y'all even trying to make it rocket science. It's just easy. It's just safe. They gonna do something big. They got 3 games. They showed you the 3 games, and you know what I'm saying? They showed you what they working with. We ain't got to sit there and hip hop parade. We ain't played the games. We really ain't saw the game. Only game we played was
Bleeding Edge.
Bleeding Edge. The other games we ain't played yet. So other than that, we ain't got to jumping jack for Jesus. We got, you know what I'm saying? I know we want to get at, like I said on Xbox, but we got we got to come to an even kill on some stuff. Wait till E3. Then we can go jump. I'm getting them hard. But it's nothing wrong. Let's take an even kill. Yeah, I'm happy. I ain't even saw the damn trailer.
But I'm asking a hypothetical. I didn't say they are. I'm asking a hypothetical.
This ain't no hypothetical. We can't say, but how can I do?
Man, people do hypotheticals all the time.
That I don't know what they're capable of doing because I don't know. I haven't saw them with a higher budget yet. So how can I say a hypothetical?
Right? Like Ninja Theory,
facts. They're competent, right?
They're confident in their own abilities. Like they're coming out and saying,
good. They have a good. They got a good pedigree.
Yeah, they're like, we will set the standard
I'm looking at
for
me
realistic
as a
graphics.
businessman.
I like that.
I like that. Okay, but you're looking at it as a businessman and an investor.
And an investor, I'm looking at business investor.
I think DMC is the highest budget, right though.
Yeah, but that was from Capcom, and they put their spin on it, and a lot of people didn't like that new Dante. They loved the combat and the enemies, but it was more of the character himself that they didn't like. They wanted the original Dante. So, but go ahead, 100. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, man, we got to kind of tone stuff down sometime. Like, man, it's about to be what? About to be February in a couple of weeks. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they showed us a little snippet. We ain't got to run with it. It's people gonna sit there and want to go race trace it and all that other stuff and
he said,
all that other
race trace it.
Race trace it.
I'm done. I'm dead.
My bro said,
he said race trace it.
I said race tracing because I feel like Xbox is a race that nobody don't.
What?
Represent.
I got
no. Wait, let him go.
I am not gonna let him go. Hey, shout out to Delilah HD and Megatron in the house.
Shout out to all my race tracers in the building.
Thank you, guys.
Don't show us no love, man.
Man, you got all the love in the world, 100. But I got.
They love you. Somebody just said 100. Wow, LOL.
Yeah,
thank you, Emmanuel A. We appreciate you.
Wild man, but man,
yes, you the wild man. You met you. If man, I think if you weren't on GRG, I think GRG would fail. You know what I'm saying?
We need that.
Because you just, you know what I'm saying?
But you definitely don't give 2 flips.
Yeah,
or fracks.
But sometimes I gotta put that hook on your ass. Because then you go, no, I didn't say. Sometimes I gotta put that hook and reel you in because I don't know where you're going next. You know what I'm saying? So okay.
I know it's race.
He's definitely part of that session. Empire.
Oh yeah, having a great session over there tonight.
Facts.
Y'all can't make me say a funny for nothing.
Man,
man.
go ahead. Just go ahead. Make all the funnies you want now.
I can't say a funny for nothing.
I put the hook down.
No, but man, we got to keep our expectations down. That's as wrong as gamers. You know what I'm saying? We get hyped up, and then we throw stones at each other. And then when the windows break, some of the windows don't break because the windows are strong.
This is what 100 be trying to spit to the shorty. She be like, "Yo, I'm ready." You be like, "Got expectations down. Got to calm the fuck down."
The thing with it though is we can get hyped because Ninja Theory themselves are saying that they want to now set the standard for realism in games. Right. So if they're that confident themselves and saying that type of stuff publicly, that's going to get me hyped just hearing it. And then when I saw these graphics,
if they don't do it, we hear the ridicule. Look at Crackdown 3. I love Crackdown 3.
It's a great game.
But what they promised, don't promise too early.
I'm reading this super chat.
Go ahead.
Don't promise too early.
Go ahead, read it.
Shout out to my man Sir X-Men with that gracious $2 donation to that super chat. That's my boy. He says, race tracing.
Hashtag, hey, right after the show, hashtag race Tracy. That is the new shit, boy, coming live.
That might be better than 100 falling asleep on intro media.
Boy,
and I do it again.
Race tracing.
Can you do that one more time in that beautiful voice to let everybody know what that was?
No question.
Yes.
Race tracing.
Okay. All right.
I need some of that race tracing.
We all need it.
We all need some of that. That's hot. Hey, go ahead, 100. Finish up, please, sir.
Oh no, he done.
He done.
He's done.
I'm going back to playing Forza. Fuck.
There you go.
Woo, just pay attention when I ask you for the next.
I can't.
We got two more topics, and then we going home. We got two more topics, bro.
Lord have mercy.
Okay, what? Who did I miss? Because I'm gone.
Me, man, me. Goddammit.
Go ahead. I'm gone.
All right, this is what I'm gonna say for the record. Now, I've said this before. I'm not even a fan of Hellblade.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really not. I didn't understand it. KMEGA talked to me about it. He said, "Yo, this is what she's going through." So now, I was like, "Yeah, all right." You know what I'm saying? But the work they did, that is basically a indie game. Very small budget. People worked on it. They showed what they could do. Now, we've seen Heavily Sword. We've seen other games they've done. Heavily Sword is one of my favorite games. Needed a sequel. They have the talent. But now that they have the budget with that talent, we've seen with the second Hellblade what they're doing with the Xbox Series X hardware. Everybody was impressed. We met them at E3. We had conversations with them. Very humble studio. And for the record, Bleeding Edge had the maximum of 15 people working on that game. The animations, the designs of the levels, the effects in the game, the 60 frames a second. You would not believe that was a 15 dev squad doing that game. That's impressive. And then they dropped this new video yesterday. So I'm looking at this video. I'm like, God damn, do you see these graphics? I think they could be with Microsoft bread and coming into that circle of the family and circle. I think they're going to be one of the elite developers on the planet.
I think so too.
Because
Ninja Theory, they got the
look what they've done
for them as well.
Huh?
Was Ninja Theory the dev that Microsoft built a new headquarters for as well?
Yes.
These guys are feeling fresh and clean as a motherfucker right now, man.
And you know,
they are larger in charge over there, I think.
When you're a small developer and you working out of somebody's house or a small area.
The dungeon.
Right. Now you got the Microsoft medical benefits, dental. You feel better. You're like, yeah, I can swipe this card. It's gonna clear the bill. They feel better. They don't got to prove nothing. Now they just got to put out product. They have the financial backing. They got the community backing them. And then Microsoft put them on the stage on an announcement of a console. That shows you the confidence that Phil got into this team. Ninja Theory. Who would think when you announce your Xbox Series X that it wouldn't be Halo or Forza? No. It was Ninja Theory. And people are not looking at the big picture. You got some haters. Oh, Ninja Theory don't mean nothing. It meant a lot when you had that goddamn game exclusive to PS4.
Look at those graphics. Xbox don't got no games.
Right. Realistic.
We want those realistic graphics. Y'all got Sea of Trash.
Right.
The Kraken is lacking and
the Kraken is lacking.
And all. Y'all don't got no. Man.
Have the tides have turned.
Woo.
Facts.
It's a
The
double A.
The best
studio.
part about them is that they're not a one IP dev.
Exactly.
Right.
Because I love the Coalition and I love 343, but man, can I get another freaking game in those
Right. You need something else to look forward to than besides what 343 and Coalition was doing. You need something else. And Turn 10.
Yep.
You need something else. Microsoft is the new jack on the block when it comes to video games.
Yep.
Sega been around, Nintendo been around, PlayStation been around. They got the experience, right? EA been around. Everybody got the experience. Microsoft brand still the babies on the market. So this generation, they said, you know what? We need more studios. We got to do this. Ninja Theory is definitely going to set a standard and the bar for a lot of people. They may not even be spending $100 million on the game. It might be a simple budget, but I can guarantee you it's a bigger budget than they ever had on any other game to develop for. Facts. And look what we're getting from
y'all say y'all want all this. They better buy that because I'm clowning. Like I expect
no, you talking about the people. I can't talk about the people.
I'm talking about the people.
I can't talk about the people. What I'm saying is, this is not about the people.
But hold on, but I will just let me interrupt on this part. 100 has got an absolute point to it, but you know what's the winning card on that?
Game Pass.
Thank you, Hood Media. That is the winning ticket right there. Listen, they know that there's people out here that be frauding the public that comes out here on these podcasts and get in the chat or get on the podcast, start talking, get in social media, brag, could you do this, say that, do all of this, just talk about everything else other than what is the main focus of what it's all about, and that is to play the game, and that is the games themselves, and they don't support those games. Game Pass is the crutch. It's the joker.
It's a
the
win-win.
wild card. It's the win-win because people will try it now and they will support it because they feel like they got over on it. They feel like it, with the deal of Game Pass only paying so much a month man.
The value is insane. I think Microsoft Studios is bringing like a dozen games themselves to the Game Pass this year. Like,
but I'm gonna
the Gears Tactics and Ori and a new Forza, a new Halo, Bleeding Edge. That's just 5. Ori, I think I already said Ori. That's just 5 I can quickly come up with. But I think I read that it was like almost a dozen Xbox game studios that are coming.
But I'm gonna say this for the record.
Yeah, day and date. Just
I'm gonna explain something to people. I was asked by a casual yesterday at the corner store by my bodega. They always dudes on my block calling me for gaming information, no matter what console it's on. Lemon, how is Game Pass beneficial to the developer? I said, do you really want to know the answer? Because you might not understand the answer. She says, hit me with the answer. I said, first of all, Game Pass is a platform that's putting games into people's hands that might not have tried or bought the game previously, or did not have the money to risk taking a chance on a game that they might not like. So they throw it in Game Pass. You download it. You pay your $10 a month or you pay your $14.99 a month for Ultimate. So you get to try out this game. The game don't stay in Game Pass for 8 months, 9 months to a year. It stays in Game Pass like 3-4 months. But in that time, you play 15 games and you like 10. But you don't have time, you work or whatever the case may be, and those games leave Game Pass. Now you thirsty to play them games. Not only do you buy them games through Game Pass, and looking at games you might not have tried with your personal money to experiment if you liked it, you say, damn, I like that game. So now when you buy it, not only do you buy it because you want to keep playing that game, you get it at a discount.
Yep.
That's
and that
how
doesn't even
Game
take
Pass
into
wins.
account whatever Microsoft is giving these developers right out the gate, either a big payout or they're getting paid by the hour or paid by the download. Who knows? But they're getting money from Microsoft to begin
Phil
with.
broke that down.
Phil
broke it down. He said it's a partnership. Everybody eats. He said everybody.
And that's another thing too, is that the technology with the facial technology that Ninja Theory has and they could do. Now, since they're a part of the Microsoft, the Xbox ecosystem,
they share it.
They can share it, just like with
water.
Like I think, like like with Rare's, like that water though, using the cloud,
the HDR technology, facts.
Yeah, right, and then like with what the coalition can do, what 343 can do, what what, like, I think really in all actuality, I think the Playground will probably have one of the best, if not the best looking open world game that we've ever seen. Just by the fact of what we've experienced with Forza Horizon, with the Forza Horizon series and what they've done in their progression with that game.
Facts.
Just think of what they're going to do with Fable in an open world setting. And you think that you can get all these people together, and then like with the Crazy Mind, with Compulsion, Obsidian, with their writing, like it seems like we're going to be in for a hell of a treat. But we got to go ahead and get to the next.
Let me get that super chat before you start. Let me get that super chat.
Go ahead, get that.
Shout out to my man Sir X, man, who's on fire with that budget tonight with that $5 super chat.
If Sony could get Street Fighter from Capcom, Microsoft needs to pay Capcom to make an exclusive Power Stone for Xbox. It would be a console seller.
What y'all think about that?
I don't know. I'm just thinking that you was.
I don't think it'd be a console seller. I think it'd be a fan favorite though.
Oh, it would be hit. It would be a hit. Like, look, I think, you know what? I really do think this, honestly. I think a lot of guys that are Sega, were primarily Sega guys, since Sega went away, Xbox was that go-to place. And I think that's where a lot of Xbox gamers have gone to Xbox gamers was because they were with Sega. So it would be perfect. It would be great. But I think Sega they have their winning ticket. You know what I'm saying? You got to also look at what Sega owns in their portfolio. They have Atlas. And Atlas, there's some of those games with them that do not come over to the Xbox, like Persona. Now, Persona might eventually come over to the Xbox. Then you have I don't know who makes Nune Kuni, but they don't.
It's a Japanese studio. That's not a Sony exclusive. That's a Sony favor. We got another super chat. We got another super chat.
Those games are coming this year.
You think Nune Kuni? You think Nune Kuni and Persona's gonna?
I don't want Nune Kuni. It's not that good.
Nune Kuni's great. Shut your mouth.
I guarantee you that those games are coming this year in Game Pass.
Whoa!
We got another super chat.
Oh
yeah.
Shit! Wait, what is going on here? Oh
yeah.
Lord!
Yeah. We gotta talk about this.
Hey man, wow!
You gonna get it? You gonna get it, or you want me to get it?
You get it. You get it. I'm stunned.
Shout out to Lord have mercy, my man Megatron. You already know. With the super chat, with the guy on the rocket, the clouds. Yeah, Xbox in the cloud, baby. We appreciate you. God damn!
Wow!
You read like them rules. Let's get it.
We can all get some damn liquor now. Damn! We was over here sipping on that Rio Nitty wine. Now we can all drink some good shit. Thank you, Megatron.
We're all sipping on race traces.
Race traces. Anyway, appreciate it, Megatron. That is fantastic. Thank you, sir. That is definitely the biggest chat giveaway that we've ever had. That's fantastic. Thank you, brother. Appreciate that, man. That is that's dope. And you know what? Hey, Ace, don't ever talk bad about Nune Kuni. Anybody else on this panel, they talk bad about Nune Kuni, I'm kicking your ass off and it'll just be the KMEGA show. Nune Kuni! Don't you disrespect.
It's hot trash.
You're out of here! Eject those seats. Anyway, but no, let's get on to the next topic. Let's talk about, since we've been talking about Xbox, and a lot of Xbox news actually today, this week. Xbox in Japan. This is huge. This was really huge for Xbox and for fans of Japanese games. That has been one of their weakest output of games this generation for the Xbox One is Japanese titles. Compared to what they did with the OG Xbox, compared to what they've done with the 360. Matter of fact, a lot of people would consider the 360 being the Japanese mecca because of so many great titles that came over to the 360. You would think that would bleed over into the X1, but because of what we talked about earlier in the show, just bad marketing, not just getting out the proper message, and now we're starting to figure out what's really been going on. My main man, Harada, the great Harada, the maker of Tekken and Soul Calibur, but the mighty Tekken, came out and made a post that said it was great to talk to Phil Spencer. You know what I'm saying? It's always good to talk to somebody that really cares about Japanese games. That's insane. Like, also, there's articles that was out that really was telling, because Xbox is not only going to get Fantasy Star 2, which they advertised at E3 last year, but they're finally going to give. And where's my girl Ruku? I haven't seen her here in a while. Uh, they're also going to get Final Fantasy 14 to come over to the Xbox. You know what I'm saying? So that's something that a lot of people's been asking for. It's a fantastic online game. Uh, I don't think it's a free to play, but I think it's kind of like in the same space as all the rest of these free to play games. You can buy different services and things like that. But it's but they said that they would bring the Xbox over into Japan, and Xbox wouldn't even advertise out there. That's how bad it was when they would throw out their product. Why the hell would you throw out a product and not have any advertisement for your stuff? Obviously, they didn't. Obviously, the old management just didn't give a damn, or they just felt like, oh well, it's going to go to Japan, and Japan's not going to buy it anyway. But they have said that Phil has put a lot of commitment into what's going on. We've seen that now, where Kingdom Hearts has finally came over to the Xbox. Now we're going to get all the rest of the Kingdom Hearts games going to come. Yakuza's on its way, and there's going to be a lot more. I showed you seen in the gameplay. I hope that we'll finally get a Guilty Gear to come back to the Xbox. But let me get your guys' thoughts about this, on top of the fact they're trying to get another studio. Now, do you think that the studio is going to be already a made studio in Japan, or they're going to make a homegrown studio? I'm going straight to you, 108. What do you think about this?
Man, I don't think they need a Japanese studio in terms of like a homemade studio, but they need to get some of these exclusive deals and rights. And I think when Phil goes down there, he doesn't look to buy a studio.
Why do you don't think that they need a Japanese studio? First off, hold on. Sir X Man in the chat. KMEGA, Team Save Lock. Absolutely. Please,
absolutely.
People, you know how I am about that. Hashtag Save Lock. I want to see that in the chat.
Women at E3.
Give it to me.
Live.
I had, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Kiki.
Saying it.
Shout out to Kiki. You know what I'm saying? The top of 343 sit there and told KMEGA, hashtag Save Lock. Man, I almost lost my damn mind. Southbound was like, negative. I said, say it again, Kiki. She was
shout
like,
out to South.
Shout out to Southbound. Shout out to Kiki, man. That was amazing.
That was glorious. As soon as he got back, he showed me, let me look what she said.
Yeah, man, my big ass was about to fly out the damn Microsoft Center when she said that. I was ready to fly. Anyway, go ahead, brother. I'm sorry.
I don't think they need to own one. I just think they need to lock in exclusive deals. You know what I'm saying? Like when he came back from Japan the last time and nothing came out of it, or people was like, yo, he went out there for what? Remember the haters on Twitter, and they was talking crazy. And I'm like, yo, first of all, this dude is worth so much money. He don't take trips for the hell of it. And he's very competitive. He wants Xbox brand to be top notch, and he wants the gamer to be happy. He's a gamer. He came back, and now we got all these Final Fantasies dropping. Right? We got Kingdom Hearts. We got a lot of stuff out of Japan that the Xbox usually don't get. Okay. So I think he went out there to do basically the same thing. Now, to create a Japanese team from Japan, I don't think Microsoft wants to do that, but I think they want to be more talked about and regarded in the Japanese realm of Eastern games hitting a Westerner platform console. That's what I think. That's what I really believe it is. I don't think he went out there to buy or make an exclusive studio. It would be nice, but I think he went out there to solidify. Listen, man, we real about this Japanese gaming. Y'all need to put more of y'all titles over here, whether it's the Noonie Coonies, the Penis Demon game, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Put it on our console. Our fan base want it, and here go a check. Let's get it done. I don't think he went out there to make a studio, because Microsoft could buy whoever they want. they could buy goddamn Sony. You know what I'm saying? So it's not about the money. I just think they want to give the consumer on Xbox more variety of Japanese titles like the 360 had, and we lost somewhere in the sauce. So that's what I really believe he went out there to do. Not to make a studio, but to, like I said, the last E3, we was in the press conference. You saw all those Japanese games hit that stage. You saw Kingdom Hearts announced it on the Xbox console. We saw it. That ain't never happened. I think that's what he went to do, and put more of a stamp on the market with Xbox brand affiliated with the East. Facts.
No doubt, no doubt. You know what I'm saying? I could kind of rock with that. But this is where I think where you're wrong. But no, I'm just. But now, that's your opinion. Big shout out to Restored Hades. He said, "Coming soon." That's cool. That's cool. Are you coming? Well, are you coming to E3? Because we would love to see you guys out there at E3. It would be amazing. I want to see as many people as I possibly can. It is, like I said, it's an experience. Don told me this. And you know what I'm saying? And look, me and Don, we talk a lot. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah. Hold on, son. My bad.
Go ahead.
My bad, Megatron. You're right. Yakuza's too. I left that out. My bad. My bad.
You know what I'm saying? The one thing I could say, Don told me this, and me and Don talk a lot, and that's the thing. He just kept saying. He kept saying. And I'm like, because I still felt that the social media aspect of people would bleed over out there just like it does, like it's here, just all this negative rhetoric. It's not. And you've heard me say this a million times. I'm not going to go on a full rant on about it, but E3 is special. And, man, I hope Restored Hades, that's what you was meaning when you talk about coming soon, because, man, that would be fantastic, but appreciate the support, man. So, what is your thoughts about Xbox in Japan, hearing all about these new titles that they're going to be bringing? And do you think that they're going to be buying a studio, making a homegrown studio from Japan? Or do you feel like Lemon does, that they're not going to do none of that and they're just going to probably get more marketing deals?
I think it's more so what Lemon said, to get more marketing, more third-party deals, because not entirely up to date on all the nuances and details, but I believe it's incredibly difficult for a Western company to Western company by a Japanese developer company anyway. I think there's probably a lot of laws and bylaws that we go through, approvals from the government to be even considered to be allowed to buy one of their companies over there. I don't think buying is pretty viable unless there's been years of negotiation prior to it. But that's probably not on the table right now. But I do believe they're more aggressive as far as their party deals and marketing as well. How we got to reveal XO with all the Japanese support, I think we're going to expect to get some more news like that going forward. I think that's what Phil's been working on with the trips over to Japan. Yeah, studio acquisition from ground up, I don't think that's very viable right now, unless there's been groundwork laid prior. These conversations we're hearing about right now.
Okay. All right. Anything else you want to add to that?
No, that's pretty much the gist of it. Just want more support for Japanese games. I want these developers to be less xenophobic. Just give out their communities. They're like stiff arming on the Xbox side. They want to play these games as well. It seems really counterintuitive as a developer. Like, I understand you have to prioritize your biggest markets. At the same time, like, at the end of the day, money keeps it going. So to ensure you get more money is to put on as many platforms as possible. So ignoring an entire fan base because you worry about not getting enough money, you need money to keep going forward, it doesn't make that much sense to me. But yeah, that's all I have to say.
Okay. Now, is there any Japanese titles that hasn't came on Xbox that you would love to see come?
I got to think about that one. As far as that we haven't gotten on here, I think we have previous Personas on 360.
Not the actual like RPG. We've had the Persona Fighter, but we've never had the Persona RPGs on Xbox.
Personas would be good. Neo series that'll be good as well.
You know what would be good? Fire Emblem series.
That too.
That's all Nintendo's.
Yes, that's still
Nintendo. Well, I'm just saying,
we're talking about something that isn't like that. Nintendo don't relinquish, and that's theirs. So, but no, that Fire Emblem would do. Well, I think didn't the Fire Emblem come out on the PlayStation 1? I think they did at one
or
particular
Vita.
time. Yeah, I think they did at one particular time, but then I think Nintendo just.
But they
swooped them
gotta
up and
play
snagged them
nice.
up.
They got that help from. They got Minecraft. That's bigger than any game Nintendo ever made.
Yeah, I'm saying, but regardless,
I'm just saying. I mean, they could play nice.
They could, but they feel like they need an audience. I feel like I said, I think Game Pass is a different animal to maybe get them to want to jump on board. I don't know. But Restored Hades in the chat, he says it's good to have the variety of games for gamers. Absolutely, that's what it's all about at the end of the day. That is exactly.
Wait a minute, KMEGA. We got breaking news.
What's up?
You know how many people watching right now?
How many?
108.
Oh my God!
Woo!
Oh my goodness!
Thank y'all. I appreciate y'all.
Shout out to the 108 people that's out here that's listening to us, man. We're getting ready to wrap it up here. We've got 15
Let's
minutes.
make it 109.
Yeah. Well, we had it up to close to 120. So I mean, we were that was crazy. So yeah, but definitely appreciate it. But we got 15 more minutes and we're gonna get out of here. I'm never gonna do. Well, I can't say never, but I don't want to do a 3-hour podcast again. I just
No, we need to because people keep watching. Now it's 110. Let's go.
No,
hit that like button.
No.
I'm with y'all.
People got lives, damn it. People want to do things.
Is talking to all of y'all.
Oh my God.
Like
Anyway,
and subscribe.
Hood Media. What is your thoughts about the Xbox being in Japan? Do you think that they're going to acquire another studio?
Yeah, I'm definitely different than everybody about this, just because I've been like kind of studying how Phil talks, and usually he tells everybody exactly what he's gonna do. He basically tells you months and months and months and ahead of, like, just basically spreading that news that he wants a Japanese studio. He says he wants it. He says it would be nice to have it, and whenever he says something, people just kind of gloss over it until it happens.
Facts.
But we remember that. People forget that Phil was in charge of that whole movement when we had all those great Japanese games on the 360. He was head of Xbox Studios. That's the reason why we got those Japanese games. So he has relationships with these guys, these devs from way back then. And he knows that they're more of a mobile space and he needs games on that Game Pass service to go on mobile for xCloud and everything. So I think he wants to have that studio that will make an exclusive for Game Pass or xCloud or what have you, so they can play it out there. I think he's been saying that, and I think it's going to happen, man. I think we're definitely going to get the marketing like deals or getting games on Game Pass, but I think he really wants a studio. And the cool thing about it was he was setting it up because I think you got to have like a homegrown office in Japan, and they've had people working there for Xbox, but slowly they've been putting more people there, so they might just be building a studio slowly or trying to buy it because you can't buy, like someone said before, you can't just buy a Japanese studio just like that.
Right,
like, you got to
can't.
make steps. So I think they've been doing that, and I think that's why it's taking so long to hear about it. But the way Phil talks about every little comment about a studio, he always pushes Japanese studios. I think he's going to do something. Maybe something smaller and build from that, but he's definitely purchasing a studio.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm not. You're not the only one that thinks that. So I don't know. What about you, Livewire? Are you agreeing with our man Hood News Media? Do you think that Phil is going to acquire a studio?
Maybe not. Maybe he just go get a pachinko machine. I don't know, man.
What the hell is that?
Pachinko machine.
I've never been to Japan, so I know you have, but I don't know what that is.
I have a pachinko machine in my basement, honestly.
Okay, see, look, I don't know.
My whole life there's been one.
Okay, I don't even explain
Live,
to me
why
what
you going
is.
there?
What is that?
You like shoot up a little steel ball into this thing and it just bounces down a whole bunch of pins and lands in a different thing. Like you've played a million variations in video game form, I guarantee it.
Okay, one of those things. I got you. Like
Live is no good, man.
It's a slot. It's a Japanese slot
I've
machine.
seen it on Price is Right. Yeah,
pretty much.
It's like a Price is Right game. Yeah, it just bounces down a bunch of pegs and you win.
That's the only thing when I went to Japan I didn't play.
Pretty much disrespectful. Go ahead, Live.
They're kind of cool.
Okay. Yeah, no, they are cool.
Listen, I just feel that they just got to make sure that the Japanese devs know that they'll support them. That's basically it. Like, look, closed mouths don't get fed. You might feel that Xbox gamers don't like your games, but guess what? They never gonna like your games if you don't put them on Xbox. So
Facts.
you could say that they don't like them, but you really won't know unless you actually put them on there. And just because you do it once doesn't mean that they're gonna catch on all at that one time, because they don't know if okay, I buy this game, but are they gonna keep it on for the next game? So it's the consistency. Like PlayStation gamers don't worry about JRPGs coming to their console or not. They feel entitled that they have to. Xbox gamers have no fucking clue. You don't know what the fuck's coming to Xbox as far as Japanese shit. Shit, most of the time, that's why you see them at E3 all surprised and shit. Oh shit, we getting that? What the fuck? That Japanese shit going on over here? That's crazy. Like, because you're just not used to it. I mean, yeah, you get the big titles, but like the smaller ones, like AA and single A, I would say, those are the ones that are like,
Hold on for a second, live. I have to interrupt you for a hot second. Sir X-Man is being messy. He said race tracking only.
I wasn't gonna say nothing.
Right.
I just let it scroll by.
No, you got to say it. Hold on. Let me go ahead and say it. Sir X-Man, this wasn't okay. Sir X-Man, race tracking only tracks African Americans. Lord, man, come on, man. All right, go ahead.
Let me say something for the record. I just got a question for the panel. 360 had a lot of Japanese games. One of the main launch titles was Blue Dragon. Sold extremely well. Great RPG. Had a boss at the end like Godzilla. It was crazy.
Yeah, but you was first.
Only in this generation, Microsoft lost Japanese support or didn't have as much of it. It ain't like the Xbox player is only first-person shooter. It's not like, so when did this narrative really start? Because 360 and even the OG Xbox had Japanese games being played.
Nah.
Why did it stop this generation?
It got kicked to the curb when Donnie Matrix got in there.
They ain't buying
okay, so that's the answer.
All right, we got 10 minutes. I'll let you go first.
Oh, my bad.
I'll let you go first. We got 10 minutes left. Go ahead, Live. Finish up, Live.
No, I'm saying that's the reason why a lot of those games dipped. Donnie Matrix came in there was profitable. The Connect was making hella bread. That's why he was like, yo, connecting every box on the Xbox One. The Japanese games weren't necessarily the biggest sellers, and he was just like, well, fuck them games, and that's one of the reasons why they had the issues of like everything that he kind of undid. He was like, nah, we ain't fucking with that. Phil had to go back and then try to get those people back on board, because I mean, for him, he was all about money. If it ain't make money, he ain't give a fuck about it.
Right. So he burned bridges, basically.
Yeah, and that's the funny thing. A lot of the games that didn't make money back, because it's not, don't get it twisted. It wasn't like Sony was making money off of them games last gen either. It's just that this gen, a lot more people got into games that they typically wouldn't. Who the fuck thought Dark Souls games would become what they became? Nobody gives.
Dark Souls is not a big seller. It's a hardcore crowd. There's a difference.
Exactly. But they gained a larger hardcore audience. Not huge, but larger than what they've ever had.
Right.
Sure. People just had more interest in it, which is why games like the Fallen Jedi have become popular. It is already Star Wars, but people that typically wouldn't buy a Star Wars game, thinking, that's some kiddie bullshit, they'd be like, whoa, you got some Dark Souls elements? All right, I'm gonna fuck with that. See what I'm saying? So
right.
It's just that a lot of games that weren't typically popular last gen have become more popular this year. So,
Don Matrix is a cancer.
John Patrick and Morrison, they just didn't give a damn. But anyway,
Yeah, they didn't.
Let me go to Shady.
You know about the ads? They advertise their asses off. They just
They were great advertisers, but they just didn't care about gaming. You know what I'm saying? They didn't care gaming like that. Shady, what's your thoughts about this?
I also think that he is looking for something to purchase over there, as well as grab up maybe some exclusive game deals, as well as just, smooth anything over that happened in the past, so we can start getting more of these titles day and date on Xbox as well, not having to wait. Whether he has to line a few pockets over there, or just, bow properly, shake a few hands, and let them know that, it's a different company and they want to push everything everywhere. xCloud is coming. Games are going to be sold globally to anyone with a screen and a proper internet connection. So it's more than just selling consoles. Xbox doesn't have to sell a gajillion consoles in Japan to be successful in that country anymore. And same with China. I think they're either buying studios in Japan specifically. I'm no lawyer, but I think the laws to protect their businesses actually are in particular more for like a hostile takeover on the stock market. There's protections against that. But if the Japanese company is a private company and those owners want to sell, I think they can sell to whoever they want. I don't think they're forced to. They can,
but that company has to be in Japan.
This is for Japan, like in Japan. Like people confuse
they have to have a
company
China. In Japan. Themselves.
China's like, I know China works that way. They're crazy. They're way more intense.
China
type of regime over there. But I could see Xbox building a studio in China and acquiring a studio that wants to be sold that's already privately owned in Japan, or just making a lot of deals, getting the games over. Like, I'm not sure why a lot of these games didn't always come to Xbox as much as they would come to the PlayStation. Maybe it's because they're supported on that platform just more, so they take the easier route. But I don't know why they leave money on the table. I really don't. I mean, I'm not going to be the first one to say it. Dave Chappelle said it first, but there could be some resentment, man. The Americas nuked a once proud warrior culture into a bunch of Hello Kitty body pillow hugging motherfuckers over there. They might be, some people are just like, fuck them. Fuck the Americas, man. We're not making games for them. And my own personal opinion, I think Japan, their studios lagged behind on game advancement for a long time. They didn't match up with a lot of the Western studios and European studios, just the rest of the world. They're very traditional in the way they do stuff. You look at their animation, the other forms of their entertainment, it stays almost the same for so long. They're still selling blue slimes like it's the hottest thing ever over there. Like, they're just, it's a different culture. So it's totally different. But to see Phil go over there, and to know that he used to go over there in the past when Xbox and Japan was on more friendly of a terms, we saw more games. I think it's a good thing. They both know each other. He knows them. They know him. I'm convinced that Phil Spencer speaks more Japanese than Kojima speaks English. Like, I just, it's a good thing to see overall. I'm not a big fan of all Japanese games, of course. There are a couple of massive standouts. Anything from Nintendo in particular, that type of stuff. Their top tier fighters are always amazing. But like, I've fallen to the wayside on the JRPGs and just a lot of their titles. I don't like the delivery, the acting, the writing. It's not for me, but there are certainly other people that it is for, because they are passionate as all hell. But there's been a narrative for a long time that Xbox needs Japan in order to succeed. I don't think so. Japan, they're not as important as they once were, especially in the console space. They've transitioned heavily to PC, and like mobile streaming is big there. They have killer internet, the entire country. So like they've moved on from buying just boxes every couple of years to stick into their already small apartments.
xCloud, though.
That's right.
Everybody's important, there. But they have been surpassed by South Korea and China.
They have, well, and just the rest of the world in general. I mean, thank you, Japan, for quite frankly creating the video game
setting the bar
and rolling with it for so long. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have had games as a kid and an early teen. But since then, I think that the rest of the world has really picked that up, grabbed the baton and ran with it and raised the bar. And it's only recently that I think a lot of Japanese studios, even Chinese studios, I don't remember the name of the game, but it was a cool looking hack and slash that was shown off at a recent show. It looked good. They're coming up. They're using new engines like Unreal Engine 4 and stuff like that. Like, it took them a little while. They were resistant to change or resistant to using outside technologies, perhaps. I don't know. I don't work there, but it seems like they've gotten on board now, and their games are looking more and more impressive every time I see one of the new titles. So all in all, more games is always a good thing, even if they're not all for me. That's a utopia. We don't live in it. So I'm glad to see it. I think he's going to come back with a studio announcement, maybe an exclusive game deal or two. We know that he's already got the marketing rights for the next FromSoft game that's got Guillermo working on it. So, I mean, it's going to be good, man. I think it's a good move. It's a good look for everyone. I know that there's a lot of fans that have been screaming for it for a long time, and I think it's coming.
Nice.
Phil went to Japan to get his money back from Platinum Games.
I hope he took a gang of I hope he took a gang of people like 100 with him. They're gonna get that money back.
It would be Platinum, actually. If I could choose any Japanese studio that he could buy, like I'm not saying could legally, but like if in my dream world to buy a Japanese studio, it'd be Platinum. They make bangers, in my opinion. I absolutely love their games. I'm looking forward to that.
They don't deal with it. They don't like Americans, man.
But they do make bangers. But yeah,
they do make bangers. They don't rock with us.
They did feel dirty. They did feel dirty.
Yeah, they don't rock with us.
Like,
they did.
It was disrespectful because the dude waited a whole year to then try to let Phil get all of that heat for that game. Then just last year, he's gonna what was it? Just a couple of months ago.
Oh yeah, they come out and they start.
Yeah, he's gonna come out and say, "Oh yeah, it was our fault. It was our fault." I hate that Phil Spencer took that, but yeah, no, that was garbage.
But for all the wrestling fans, man, you remember back in the day. Just give me a second here. If you remember that one Monday Night Raw, where Vince McMahon walked down. And on the exact same night, Monday Night Nitro, WCW, Shane McMahon came out.
Oh, yeah.
And they announced, hey, we bought WCW, our biggest rival.
I remember that.
What's going on?
Shit, the guys that did us the most dirty, the guys that damn near put us out of business. We fucking own them now, baby.
That would be great.
At the time.
That would be great.
They would quit, though. They would quit. They go work for Capcom.
But I think, hey, there'd be a lot of money getting thrown around, and they'd just be like, make the greatest game you've ever made. So
they're definitely a good programmer.
But I think Platinum got everything taken care of because Nier Automata was a hit. They got this what's Grand something. It's a MMO that looks fire. I think that's going to be a hit.
Astro Chain
is it?
I own that. It's nice.
That did well for. I think. Well, no, that didn't do well for Nintendo.
It didn't do well, but the game is awesome.
But the game is mostly a lot of their games they make is awesome. But but regardless of the fact, yeah, that would be a mic drop moment. 100. Do you have anything to say about this?
Hell no, y'all talk too damn much.
All right, cool. All right, so we're gonna talk about the last one is the CD Projekt Red. We gotta be as quick as possible about it, and then the Series X leak. That's just like when we do our outros, just to say, is that dude fired or is that dude is cut completely off of doing that stupid shit by sending out showing the serial number on that shit. So we'll talk about that leak when we're doing our outros. But okay, CD Projekt Red responds back to all of these stands that was making these points talking about, well, the game was delayed because the Xbox One, because of the whole forwards backwards compatibility stuff. That is, that's what hurt it and everything else. And CD Projekt Red came out and they said, look, that's not the case. I'm looking for it right now. Here it is. He said, they came out and they said with their release, they said Cory Barlog, which is the maker of God of War, hit the nail on the head. Of course, we're optimizing for the Xbox One and for the PlayStation and for the PC because that's what you do in the last stretches of a game development. While the game is made, lots of things are unoptimized because they're all in flux, changing, and still not finished. So simple answer like, they delayed the game because of X might make for a good rumor, but don't hold a lot of truth. There's always many reasons among them, and I can speak for myself, simply fixing bugs so the game is as polished as possible, no hidden agendas, just working on making the game better. 100. What is your thoughts about that, man? Was that just the ultimate shutdown for those for those haters out there that was constantly for the stands that was constantly saying that the reason why they was held back is because of the Xbox and their method of trying to do what they're doing with their games by making them forward compatible. What is your thoughts about this?
I don't got no thoughts, man. Let's wait for the game to come out, man. When the game come out, y'all can hear my opinion on it. I ain't finna go sit here and make these theories and these hypotheticals and all that.
Well, this
When
isn't
the
a
game come
hypothetical.
out,
This isn't a hypothetical. This is
it's
coming from
what
CD
they
Projekt
saying,
Red.
but it's this. I don't give a damn if it was Jesus Christ and the Latter-day Saints. He ain't even got me.
Did he say the Latter-day Saints?
He said the Latter-day Saints.
I'm done.
I think Don is a Latter-day Saint, man. What's
No,
going
I don't
on,
care.
man? What's the problem with the Latter-day
No,
Saints?
I'm just saying, like we talk about this, the thing about their. You know what I'm saying? I know the guy came out, but let's talk about when stuff come out. I know it's good. I don't know.
They're
Hey, Mega,
shutting
remember
down.
at E3? Remember at E3 on the second day, and he got burnt out?
Yeah. He burnt out. He burnt out. All I'm saying is that this should be right up your alley. That's why I asked you first. Is that they're basically shutting down.
Think about it.
They're
We got
shutting
told
down
about this already
the narrative.
with UWP and all this. This shit ain't new.
Okay.
What they talking about? This shit
Mega,
ain't
leave
new.
that boy alone.
Why we talking about this?
What we doing? Hey, what's up, Fonz? Fonz is in here saying 100 drunk. Hey, Fonz used to be a part of the show.
No, he's not. He's burnt.
He's just burnt out. Okay.
Because if he was drunk, he'd still be talking a lot. He's
If
burnt.
y'all don't understand, I'm not a real good podcaster guy. I can do it.
You are a great podcaster. Stop doing that.
I ain't a good podcast, not for no damn 3 hours. But
it ain't 3 hours. It ain't 3 hours.
Let the panel talk. It ain't about me. It's about we.
I got you. So
Since when?
So you got nothing else to say about this?
I ain't got nothing to say.
I got you, 100. I got you. Zero. So why you just didn't say that until you went to the damn rant? Talking about race tracing.
Can Mega, leave that boy alone.
Race tracing. Hashtag race tracing.
Race tracing.
Ow! Okay, where you at, man? Save the day for us, man. What did you think about CD Projekt Red's response to the stands out there with what they've been saying?
Well, going before that, this whole situation was stupid from the jump.
Mm-hmm.
Like, rumors on both sides, whether Xbox stronger, PlayStation 5 stronger, whatever, I just ignore all of it. And everybody should do the same thing because it's better to wait until actual confirmation. Because over this past generation, everybody has been burnt over these stupid ass rumors you keep falling for over and over again. So, like, look at it just from an outside perspective, looking at the rumor when it first drops, a little fishy because for some reason the dude who leaked it, the Polish guy, put a lot of emphasis on the Xbox One supposedly holding back Cyberpunk 2077, which made no sense. I'm not a developer. No, this is out of a leak, but we all know that there's a minuscule difference between the Xbox One and the PS4 OG models. So it's like a small percentile. So it's kind of hard to believe that a small margin of error held back the entire 2077 project to the Xbox One and PS4. That's a little bullshit to me.
Yeah, no way. It's not holding the game back, but it's certainly pushed is the reason for the delay. Like they're trying to get the game to run at its absolute best on these older consoles, and
I agree.
Probably like a perfectionist studio that isn't willing to cut half the population off the streets or have the game launch at 540p. They don't want that, so they're trying their damnedest to throw that Polish polish all over this bad boy and launch it as good as they can. Like yeah, man. They want to get it launching as just flawless as they can across the board for the technology that's there. Obviously, the low-end consoles aren't going to run it looking as good or as smooth as the Pro, the One X, or the new series of consoles when they come out. But it is those old consoles that are going to be harder to make it run amazing and not truly have just a stuttering frame rate, a sub 720 resolution, and like a skeleton crew of AI walking around. But just it's a perfectionist studio, in my opinion, and they want it to be insane. So they're going to take the time in those older systems, which they developed this game for. Let's not pretend they didn't. This game has been in development for like 7 or 8 years. Was when that launch trailer first came out 7 years ago. So this game has been made since longer than this entire gen has been out. So they know what it was going to come out on all the time. Yeah. So the ambition of this game has never been choked because of the technology right now. But
I just need you to say that again.
It's going to take time. Which
I need you to say that again.
The entire statement?
No. Polish polish.
Polish polish. Shout out to Sir X,
I
man.
ain't never heard that in all my 47 years. I'm
That's
like,
great.
When you write it out, it just looks like Polish. It's the same word, and it's kind of fucked, man.
That's great.
The same
Shout
word
out to Sir X,
spelling-wise.
man. I can't say ray tracing anymore. Race tracing forever. Hashtag race tracing.
We appreciate you for that.
Yes. All right. Anybody else want to touch on this before we get the hell out of here?
Shady hit it really hit the nail on the head.
Yeah, I think Shady hit it.
Yeah, okay.
People try to use this as an argument against like.
I didn't mean to hijack that. I
No. You're fine because I was getting ready to start.
Intervene, please.
Yeah, because I was about to get it ready to wrap up and say whatever. I was going to ask Hood News if he was going to say something, and everybody else. But we about to get the hell out of here.
Shady killed it.
Yeah, he did. You killed it, Shady. All right, man.
Yeah.
As usual, man, we about to get the hell out of here. But before you get out of here, instead of us doing our fail of the nights, what I'm going to ask you guys while y'all do your sign out is the person that leaked out the XSX leak, is their ass in trouble or not? What you think happened to them? So Shady, thank you for coming on. Tell everybody where they can find you at, and let us know what you think about that X Series X leak.
No problem, man. I'll start with that. I think whoever that is in trouble. I actually doubt it was the person who is in control of that console. I'll bet you it's like a roommate, a friend, a kid, something like that. They just knew it was there, and when the dude was when he was out in the bathroom, he someone grabbed it up, took a couple pics, and that's why that serial number was there and stuff. Because as an employee working at Microsoft that has that, I would hope they would know that type of stuff is trackable real easy, and they would, I don't know, get in trouble, man. I don't think it was planned. I've seen a lot of people be like, it's a planned leak so they can take Sony's thunder. I'm like, yeah, if they wanted to do that, they would have just done it themselves, not literally. Shout out to Randolph Thor, man. He went off. He was like, they're not going to have a console sitting on a raggedy-ass carpet with literally a pube on the bottom left. And I had
it was gross.
I looked
it was
at the
nasty.
pic, bro. Yeah, I looked, man. I'm zooming in. I'm like, oh, my God, there it is. A little curly sitting right there.
I didn't even notice that, but I won't look at that picture again.
There's no way that was a planned thing to try and steal thunder.
I'm going to erase that picture out of D.
Savage. But thank you again for the invite. I love coming here, man. I really enjoy your guys' show.
Like I told you, anytime, man. Just let me know when you want to come on, man. You're 100's favorite person, man. I think 100 just, so you brought the best out of 100 tonight, man, by saying race tracing.
I brought the worst out of him too. Shit.
100 did good tonight.
No,
don't do that.
Yeah,
you gotta give him credit where credit's due. He did fantastic. I'm proud of my dude.
Hell no.
He had the zingers.
100 last week did fantastic. I don't know what this 100 was this week.
100 brings it every week. The show is not the same without 100,
he should
man.
be doing all the damn videos for 3 hours, man. He gonna talk about GRG. His ass was in there talking about ranting, getting mad at Christopher Hart and shit. Leave that fool alone, man. Big shout out to Christopher Hart.
Taking it so far left, you don't even know what sport you're fucking playing anymore.
We always do that when we get inside out.
Yeah.
We done that from day one.
Thank you so much for having me, man. I'll definitely hit you up, and I want to come back. If not, I'm in the chat every week, damn near. I love your guys' show. You kill it all the time. You're super passionate. Can't wait to see what you guys do at E3 again this year when you go.
Yeah, we're going to be popping. Like and subscribe to all our channels. We're going to be popping at E3.
Absolutely.
We're your favorite YouTuber. Facts.
And before we go to Hood News Media and get his thoughts, I have to say this. Next week's show is going to be pretty funny, man. Well, not just like funny. It's going to be very different because we're going to have BG come on from the Weapon Wheel podcast, and you know what I'm saying, and a new subscriber. Well, not subscriber, but a new guy that's on here. His name is Cali Rex. Cali Rex 01, and he makes some content. I watch his content. I follow him. He's an up and comer, and so it's definitely going to be one of those shows that I think is going to be an absolute classic because, as you know what I'm saying, the guy that runs the Weapon Wheel, there's no need for introduction for him, and then you got our boy 100, and then of course everybody on the panel, we have our own strict opinions on how we feel. we'll do it the right way, not the ignorant way. But I cannot
Facts.
wait to hear what people are going to say. So with that
Right,
being
no one
said,
will get snubbed for their opportunity to talk, and that's some bullshit.
Yeah,
Get their
no.
opportunity.
Oh no! Everybody's going to have opportunity to talk. That's going to be the most beautiful thing. I'm going to make sure of that. Just make
Yeah.
sure our topics is going to be light for that week. But anyway, for next week. But anyway, Hood News Media. Where can they find you at? And what do you think about the situation with the guy leaking out his pube hair on the X1X?
Damn.
Why I gotta get the pube hair? Listen, I just want to thank everybody for just having me on the podcast and making me feel welcome on the podcast. Shady killed it as usual. He basically said what I was gonna say. So yeah, I definitely think it was someone that was just trying to get clout for a little bit, but he probably got that person in trouble, and it is what it is, man. That's the environment we live in now, and everyone's trying to get them likes. Everything is about them likes. It's crazy, but that's basically what we live in. I do expect though, for the next gen, people are just gonna try to find things to talk shit about Xbox.
Oh yeah,
get ready. Get ready.
SSD gate.
Ridiculous.
What's wrong with you
now? Yeah, they're already looking.
We're not gonna talk about that dumb shit SSD. That's crazy.
Oh God.
But
you ever seen that Black Mirror episode where the whole world is about likes? It's on Netflix, that Black Mirror show. Like, there's one episode, the whole world is likes. It was twisted, man.
Credit cards.
Yeah, it was a very like frightening episode because I can already see that we're on that hill, man. We're climbing it fast. So that's the society we're gonna live in.
And big shout out before I go to 100, so he can give his shout out. Big shout out to Delilah, because there's something that I do agree with that we need to kill forever. And that's when we start off talking about anything with Xbox we pertain to, and I do it a lot. I know I do. Talking about, in 2013, Xbox fucked up. Stop it. Xbox. Phil is in charge now.
I said that earlier. I'm tired of that narrative.
Phil is in charge. Everything has been going in the right direction since Phil took over. So yes.
2017, baby.
2017. Yeah. That era should.
Let's talk about it.
Era. 100. Where can they find you at, man?
You can find me on Hot 97 Drunken Station. I fall asleep.
Why you telling me? I'm one of the most wanted YouTubers on the planet. I said this damn word, so this shit gonna be out.
You want it dead and alive.
In the morning. I swear it's gonna be some means in the morning, but I don't get to. I said it. I made it up. I need to get paid every time y'all use it. I need $1.
Shout out to you 100 for getting my name dropped in this area around here, reminding KMEGA that I exist.
KMEGA, KMEGA, man, no.
Man, say a complete sentence.
I don't know if he gonna be on. Shit, I might gotta take a sabbatical.
Man, you gonna tell me you gonna be scared? Cause BG gonna come on the show?
You know me. I gotta be. Y'all told me to be.
You gotta be correct. You gotta be sociable.
No, you'll be sociable, but they don't
me.
Look.
You gotta network.
No, we networking, baby. This ain't
shit.
Hey, man, listen.
And if you're gonna pee on yourself, I'll buy you a box of Depends. It's all on my budget. I got you.
You know what? Y'all ain't never been. They talking all this, but they ain't never went pound for pound. You know what I'm saying?
I went on the weapon wheel twice.
I didn't set all
of them up. I've been on the multiplayer. I used to be on the multiplaire. What are you talking about? I've been.
And I did debates on other people's channels and shut it down. Don't do that.
Come on, man. Don't do that. Don't be stuck up here acting scared. You acting scared. I'm gonna be calling you out my damn
I
self.
got more knowledge in my pinky toe than most YouTubers.
I keep myself from the negativity.
Livewire. I don't even want to hear your crying ass right now. Livewire. Where can they hear you? Where can they find you?
Livewire, defend me.
Livewire. What's going on, man? Where can they find you at?
I'm asleep.
That bullshit. All right. We out of here. 108 Dragons TV. Where can they find you at, man?
You can find me at 108 Dragons TV on every social media outlet. Let me tell y'all, people, I am 90 people away from a stack. 1K. I need that smoke. Come give your boy some love, man. Like and subscribe to my channel. And I'm going to say this for the record. Shout out to both guests that come through. So Shady, you one of my favorites. My man over here. Let me tell you something. It was nice to have you. Nice to meet you. You got some great points too, yourself. And I'm gonna say my fail of the week, man. I'm gonna say it anyway. I don't care what KMEGA say.
You say it, yeah.
I bought something to show the Xbox Series X, basically the size of the system. You know, I bought the 3D, what you call it? What you call those machines? The 3D print stats?
3D
printer.
Yeah, I ain't got no goddamn 3D printer. So when I bought it, I thought they was gonna make it and send it to me, right? Because I want to do a comparison video compared to the Xbox Series, the Xbox X, and the Pro.
They sent you the blueprint.
I bought the blueprint. I said, my boy that has a 3D printer lives in Florida. What the hell I'm gonna do with these stats? They gave me the textures. They gave me the everything you could imagine to make an Xbox Series X. And I have no means to make it. That's my fail of the week.
Man, that's a damn shame. All right.
No, it's non-refundable. At least it was $14. It wasn't $50, $60, but $14. I said, yeah, I'm gonna show these people the difference between the PlayStation 4 Pro and the Xbox One X. They was like, oh, you could download the PDF for the high res textures and the dimensions for 3D printing. I said, wait a minute, y'all not making this for me?
Yeah, hold on.
Whoa!
All right.
My bad.
Where can they find you at, man?
Of course, you can find me every Saturday on Smash Podcast. And as far as the home guy or girl who leaked the Series X, the back of it, they ever lost their minds over, all I'm going to say is they don't get that West Coast stomp from Microsoft. We're going to find out why Phil owned the game was Killer Phil.
We gotta pay the bills.
Yeah, that's gonna be the night as to be in the. Yes, that is going to be.
We gotta pay the bills.
Sir X Man, make sure those pins got race tracing. Hashtag race. Hey man,
race tracing.
Well, Hunter seems like he's a little nervous, man. I don't know, man. This if that man backs out or don't show up, I'm gonna make a video lighting his ass up.
I'm with other zinc. Yo, Sir X Man, please stop.
That's on everything, bro. Anyway, so Livewire, where can they find you at, man?
Yo, they can find me on my channel. I just put up a video of Plague's Tales. You know what I mean? I'm actually gonna play I might play a little bit of that. I'll jump on my Xbox on my PC because I beat it on my Xbox originally, and now I'm playing it on my PC. So,
great game.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna get into it because I didn't download that either, but everybody keeps saying it's great, so I'm gonna rock with it.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's slow in the
That's what Game Pass is for.
But it moves. But yeah, man. So I'm gonna be rocking out with that. And what was the other? I'm trying to remember. What was
the
that
dude
shit?
with the X, the person that sold the X. Yeah.
Yeah, that motherfucker crazy. I don't know what the hell they was thinking.
All right.
It was like this nigga, like a nigga.
See, there you go. Donald Trump wrapping you up. What?
You cursed twice, but you dropped the N bomb at the end.
Yeah,
you was doing so good.
You was doing so
Come on, son.
Donald, you was doing great.
You used to be a college professor. You could articulate yourself better.
All right, we
These
done.
damn ninjas ain't no good.
Listen, we out of here.
Anyway,
you know what I'm saying? Whatever. We're done.
Like I was saying.
Shut up. We're done.
Shout out to Miss K. Thank you for sending me your video early. The rest of these bums are struggling. Thank you, Miss K.
Go ahead, Live.
And they should have known better before they did. Like, bro.
You let this fool keep talking?
Who in their right mind? Because you interrupted me, so I'll finish.
Lord have mercy.
Who in their right mind is going? That's like writing your name on the Scantron sheet, talking about you stole it from the teacher. The fuck are you doing?
Oh.
I know all this amount of time. You know what I'm saying? All this super chat gone. YouTube thank you, Livewire. We appreciate
leaving your driver's license at the scene of a crime.
Yeah, they're like,
don't mind me.
Thank you.
He driving drunk with the beer in the passenger seat.
Oh man. Anyway, thank you guys so much. That's why I was like trying to end it in 2 hours and 30 minutes because I knew that we was gonna have our outros is always long. So anyway, thank you. You already know what the slogan is. Get ready for it. You know. Thank you. Sub everybody on here that came on. That's from Shady to Hood News, man. Go check out their channels. Go check out what they do. Their work on Twitter. All of that. Do that. please do, and everybody on the panel, man. We doing everything that we can. I will be streaming probably something tonight. Or they're just going here bugging somebody if I see somebody streaming. But anyway, as I always say, thank you so much. If you got to go to work tomorrow, then you need to take your ass to bed. If you ain't got to go to bed, then you need to be gaming. And if you ain't got to go to bed, and if you ain't gaming, then there's only one more thing that you could be doing at this time of night.
Cookie.
It's the Pants Off Dance Off.
You're damn right. You better be having that pants off dance off right, man. You know what I'm saying? Look, they say gamers don't be getting that cookie. But damn it,
as 100 say, the juice box.
Get the cookie to the Gucci guy.
We out, man. Thank you guys so
Peace.
much, man. Peace.
Thank y'all for showing up. Facts. Good night, everybody.
Appreciate the love. Hopefully we see y'all next week, man. Thank you.
Happy gaming.
Hey, thanks for checking out the GRG podcast. All your gaming news and our special topic of the week. Make sure to join us every Friday night, 9:30 Eastern, 8:30 Central, and 6:30 Pacific. This was the GRG podcast.